We're up.
Hi. This
Hello?
is oh, it scared me a little bit. I wasn't sure if there was. I thought I heard a bear. I thought I heard a bear growling in my other room
a
there.
beer with a beer, a beer.
A bear with a beer with a
That
bear.
was just me.
Could have been. You never know. Grr. I heard a woof.
Grr.
All right. Well,
Or like a festival beer.
this is maybe.
Oh, true.
This is let's just get right into it today, gentlemen. This is the Haunted by Horror show. We're back. We took a little bit of a couple week hiatus. As far as if you're following on like YouTube or anywhere else, they've been going up, but because we backlogged and we're professionals when it comes to these kind of things, we're not at all. But we try to be.
Well, that's what we like to think, though. We try.
Correct. We'd like to think that, but hey, we always try.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't know, am Eddie Vegas.
I am JC Walsh, and I already have my anti-summer beer going October Fest and Trick or Treat in the vein of Lord Sam Hain. I don't know if vein's right, but whatever. But so there you go. Anti-summer for a reason.
Yeah, because fuck summer. It's hot. My balls sweat.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna
good
be
intro.
real hot
There
the
you
next
go.
2 days.
I am
It's gonna suck.
your very holy Scroogey boy, the May Queen. We all know it.
That's actually my favorite. That is my favorite one. I am picturing flowers around
Everybody,
Scrooge's head.
everybody,
Can we please Photoshop that?
everybody applause me.
I'll figure it out. I'll work on that.
Please do.
That I will work on.
You
that
always
I
take
will
pictures
work
and
on.
videos, man. Or at least send them to me. I'll post.
I got to get back on it, guys. I've had a lot going on. I apologize. I keep on saying the Instagram's going.
Come on,
Summer's
Vegas.
crazy. Summer's crazy times, guys.
Yeah, we're in midsummer.
Ooh,
we are literally. We are technically we are officially not officially in midsummer as of technically today. Today is the very last day. If you're watching this live, it is the very last day that the sun goes down after 8 o'clock. As of tomorrow, which is the 11th of August, it'll start going down earlier and earlier, which kind of blows. But at the same time, man, I'll be honest, this summer hasn't really been all that great as far as like being able to go do things because there's a lot going on. I've had a lot going on, but that's the thing. Like, it feels like we're trying to cram 2 years into fucking 3.5 months because everybody is out right now. Everybody's going to do things, and everybody and everything's booked right now. It's impossible. So I don't know. And then the world's crazy, and depending on what you listen to and how you listen to it is what you're gonna feel. And listen, man. At this point, I'm burned out by all the bullshit. All I care about right now is there are some cool movies coming out. We have that goes on, and this is a nice thing that really helps me keep my brain off of the rest of the bullshit that's out there. So cheers to that, gentlemen. And we are watching Midsommar. We watched it. We're gonna review or dissect or whatever you want. We're gonna talk about Midsommar. Ben fucking hates this movie, or he used to. I don't know if he still does. I don't know yet.
Has he been like manipulated by the ritual of purging? Is that what the ritual of Midsommar?
I'm just saying, dude.
Okay.
Maybe you'll have to find out.
No, I was gonna say no spoiler alerts.
Nope.
No.
This is a movie that is, to be totally honest with you, outside of our crew here. I've seen it a few times. Ben has seen it before. I'm a fan of the movie. Have I changed my opinion on it? We'll find out. Ben has seen this movie. Is he a fan of this movie? Wasn't before today. We'll find out if he's changed his mind.
Just in case you haven't watched the previous shows, he's mentioned it.
Correct.
Yes. Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Joe has never seen this movie before, which is amazing to me because this is I don't want to use the word controversial, but what's another term for polarizing? Polarizing is the word.
It's polarizing, but it is controversial to some degree.
It's controversial, but polarizing as far as horror movie fans go, because Ari Aster, who made this movie, wrote and directed it, made Hereditary. Fucking blew the doors off of everything around it. Like that movie.
I need to rewatch that too.
Almost unanimously is renowned and by horror fans alike, right? I mean, it's one of the better, most original horror movies we've had in a very, very long time. It made it so it made like real horror true again. It made it like unsettling, and so this guy has got a vision ability to or an ability to be able to show you his vision. So a lot of people were anticipating this to see what he could do with a follow-up movie. So he writes this movie, directs this movie, and
all within a year,
a lot of people were ready for it. All very fast. He got hit up by a Swedish company that essentially procured him to make a script. They originally wanted it to be more of a slasher movie. He decided to go, nope, I don't want to do that, and wrote this because he
That's
just
funny. There
went
is a
through.
Midsummer Butchers or something like that. I see keep
Yep.
popping
Well,
up.
there's a Midsummer that's spelled like the way we would spell it.
Hmm.
That's very much like this. This also has hints of the Wicker Man, the original one, minor
Hmm.
hints of the Nicolas Cage one, from what I understand. And
Not the bees.
Can we please do back to back on that one?
not the beers. Ah,
Ah, my
it's ridiculous.
eyes.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But so he was originally supposed to write a slasher movie, like a more like old school slasher movie. He decided to not do that and decided because he was going through or just going through a bad breakup to make this a breakup movie, and that's what he calls it. And he actually, in
It is
interviews, it is a
told
breakup
as
movie.
the best breakup movie. Apparently, everybody says that in all kinds of reviews
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's a breakup movie, and he looks at it more as he knows that it's a horror, but he actually classifies it personally as more of a dark comedy. And if you look at it that way, to be honest with you, it is pretty. It's there's a
There's
lot
a
of
lot
humorous
going
parts in
on in
it.
this movie. There's a lot
Yeah,
going on in
and
this movie.
it's again, hence why I wanted to bring up the fact that it's polarizing, right? So fans that are just if you didn't know any of that and just watch the movie, there are two camps. You either like this movie or
Mhm.
you do not. Like there really is. There's not a lot of middle ground with this one. It's very
No.
very like one way or the other. You don't there's no like, oh yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, maybe no. It's you either like this movie or you don't. For most people. Now, it's been out for a little while. A lot of theories have come out. We've heard Ari talk about it a few more times, things like that. So depending on how deep you want to go and be a nerd, is what you'll get out of that, right? None of that's going to change my opinion about the movie. It is kind of cool because I find humor in weird things, anyways. But I find this movie to be very tragic and dark, and I find that which it is dark, but I feel like it's more of this movie to me feels like how depression feels, but like in visual aspects. Like it's hard to understand it's hard to get that because a lot of people don't understand how to make you feel like that. Like people know how to make you feel unsettled in movies, hence Hereditary. People don't know how to make you feel what depression feels like, or like the world's caving in on you, or like your breath is being like anxiety. Like the only other, I mean, there are movies that instill anxiety in you. Like if you watch was it Uncut Gems, the movie with Adam Sandler? That movie is a heart attack waiting to happen. Like I don't know how people haven't had them watching that movie. It's
I haven't
traumatizing to
watched
watch.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
want to watch that.
fucking incredible. It's one of the best movies in the last 30 years. It's
Mm.
phenomenal. It's fucking amazing. But it is like your heart will race because it's uncomfortable. It's very 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 uncomfortable. It never stops. It goes the whole time and it's just a mile a minute the whole time. And by the end you're like as soon as it's done you need to catch your breath. Like it really does that to you. You just can't stop because the sound design makes you unsettled, and it makes you like feel like you're I don't know. It's like if you pop a shitload of Adderall and then go decide to snort Red Bull and see what happens, and that's what it feels like after the end. Like you're like, oh my god, it just gets you after a while.
Yeah, I
Is
do
that
that
me?
every night anyway.
Is that me mostly on caffeine? Because I do like three. I used to do three monsters and a coffee later. I
Oh,
can't do that anymore.
yeah,
I can't do that anymore. But
I'm an asshole when it comes to caffeine too. But I mean, what I mean is when it used to hit, when it would hit us when we were kids. I guess is more or less what I mean. But so long story short, I could use other things or ways to describe it, but I'm not going to get into that. This is a kid show. So
What?
yeah,
so this is we're not going skiing, guys. So anyways,
No
long story short,
treats.
I've 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 given you my dialogue or prologue on this movie as far as that goes. So caught you up. I don't know how much everybody in the world knows about this movie. Again, out of the people that I know that like this movie, that have seen it rather, I I've heard mixed things. I also am somebody that I enjoy long movies. I like The Witch. I know that's another polarizing one, which blows my mind that it's so polarizing, but it is polarizing. There are a lot of people that just don't like that movie. They think it's boring,
True.
which is where this one falls in. It's the same thing. I don't see that as boring at all. I get the art in that movie. I think it's fucking breathtaking to watch. So, in this one too, same thing. I'll just come right out and say it. This movie second, third, I'm at my third or fourth time watching it now. And now because I've seen it and I know the plot and everything, and I'm not like surprised by anything that happens, I get to watch other things that are going on in the background, and every time I find something new. It's so many layers. Hereditary was the same way though. Hereditary, the more you watch that movie, the more you get creeped out by it because there's more things. You see like demons in the background and shit, and you're like, oh. Anyways, does anybody want to give like a quick rundown of how they feel now about the movie before we get into some of the breakdown of the movie? Because we're gonna kind of skate around some of the themes. We're gonna talk about some of what we liked about the movie, maybe some of the stuff that we didn't like about the movie, without trying to spoil too much, and then we can get into like scenes of the movie, and we're gonna do some spoilers. So we're gonna try to keep it a little separate because this movie's still kind of new. It's only like 2 years old, I believe, and if you haven't seen it yet, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. Yeah, about 3 years. Well, no, it came out in 2019.
No,
That's
2019.
Years, right?
Yep. It's like almost exactly.
Oh,
was
that's
made in
two. There goes my math.
No, but that's okay. But it feels that's the problem with 2020. It doesn't feel like it even fucking happened. It feels like
we lost a year.
So we did. We all did.
My gray hairs say otherwise.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. So
should I?
How about this?
Yeah. All right. So how about you? Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, go ahead with Scrooge. You can go ahead.
Yeah, you guys decide who goes next. I gave my prologue about the movie. So
all right. So
I tell you, I'm gonna be more of a fly on the wall on this one, and then kind of chime in on things.
So this is gonna be the part where I go ahead and say I just watched this movie. I told Joe I just watched this movie 20 minutes ago. I started right after I was done with work. Sat down, watched the whole thing, and this is gonna be the part where I tell you, yeah, man. So like my opinions are totally changed on it, and I was totally wrong.
Oh.
That's a lie. I still hate this movie. I don't like anything about it.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm waiting with bated breath to be able to. This is going to be probably turn into more of a debate.
No, with this one,
I can't wait. I
totally probably just am derailing this whole thing. There's a couple things. So like there's like some like visual things that I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. Oh, that's pretty neat. Oh, that's pretty neat. But ultimately, it just ends up to be not a single character in this movie is enjoyable to look at. Like not like in terms of like, oh, are they attractive or not? Not a single character in this movie is fun to
redeemable.
Yeah, redeemable. None of them fucking sell it for me on how this movie is supposed to be. I understood the thing with like, oh, this is how mental disorders and all that's supposed to work. Motherfucker, I get that. I go through it every day. I don't feel like seeing it in a movie being represented towards me. I want to be enjoyed with. I want to see people fucking get slashed and killed on screen. You don't ever see it, and that's just what I don't like. I thought the ending, the last, because it's a long ending. Right when it starts to become, I won't say what, like the very big dance sequence to determine a certain May Queen. Right when it becomes that part, everything.
That's the last act.
Then sure, the last act might be some of the worst things I've watched in the past like decade. I can't stand it. It's loud. It's stupid. It makes no fucking sense. Even if you try to debate with me and you try to sort of be like, no, it's because of this. No, it's because of that.
There's a lot in pagan research. Actually, it does make sense.
And the fact that it's really cool that you went through this and got all this research and you have this fucking, I don't know how much you have. I'm just interpreting it in my head. You have
not enough because it's deep shit.
That's my point. That's also fucking stupid. I shouldn't have to sit there and be like, wow, look at all these pictures on the wall. Look at all these things. That's a spoiler to the movie.
But Heritage is the same thing. Hereditary.
No, Hereditary is the same thing.
Hereditary is not the same thing.
Heritage is my short story, by the way. Hello.
Very similar.
Okay, but at least we get to see some cool shit out of it. Not a bunch of fucking stupid morons screaming and hollering in each other's faces. If I want to see that, I'll just go back home. Like, I don't feel like
I gotta ask Scrooge this.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't want to use the word too much, but it was because the fact that some people can't find. I was reading an article on how, like, and we were talking about some really controversial films and themes, like the movies with the hard R and the I'm going to say it, the rape revenge movies.
TikTok
that were a lot of you get the same thing. A lot of people don't want to see that because of its content, but there are some people that can watch it because they find it therapeutic to address things they've been through that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with anxiety, depression, and trauma. So you can't do that with this movie. This movie hits you on it kind of triggered you a little bit. So that's why you don't really like it to some degree. That's why you don't like any of these assholes. And so it really hit you, hit a psychosis a little bit.
I think that's the difference between me and Ben. I think that is it.
That's really interesting.
Let's forget about the fact that
Ooh, we're
there's
hitting the
an age
psychology beginning the episode. I love
no,
it.
but there's some psychology there.
Which
So
is fair.
I've gone through like bad breakups and things like that, but that was a long time ago. I'm in a good place in my life as far as relationships go. But I've also I've lived through like severe, you know, encounters in my life where I've seen things, you know, whether it's overdoses or like severe abuse to the point where like people were dying in my arms, and like I've multiple times.
Right.
And I was a pallbearer, I don't know, fucking something like 8 times before I was even like 20 years old or something. So like I had to face like grief and depression and all that really, really, really early on, and I was taught to not show it, right? So like for me, I was taught to like just fight through it, and it kind of made me a fucking asshole for a really long time. And I can look at myself like that now and go retrospectively, introspectively, I can go, man, I mean, if I just accepted the fact that like this is what it was and maybe was a little more open about it, maybe I wouldn't have been so aggressive for so long. As an adult or an older, getting my, whatever, late 30s or whatever, I can look at things like that and go, well, psychologically, like I repressed a lot of things and it makes you lash up because you have to get it out somehow, right? So I look at something like this now and I go, man, like this is really when I've had anxiety attacks and I allowed myself to understand that that's what it was and not try to hide it. This is what this movie feels like to me. And I go, that's a good representation of what it feels like to feel like the world's coming in around you, right? Ben is still young, and Ben didn't have to really deal with the things that I had to face because I was the one who dealt with it all, right? So like living in the same household for so long and being part of the same family and bloodline and everything else, I'm the one. I'm like the Marine. I had to go in first, and then he's coming up behind. You know what I mean? So like we had to face things differently, and we're also at a different point in our lives. Ben has recently gone through a not so great breakup, probably the first real one of his adult life. Which, yeah, and I agree that's exactly what that person deserves. But it's still there, right? It's still clawing at you while you're fucking right. But that's reality, though, right? So we have all had one of those. I mean, we've all gone through something like that. It's good for you
my
in the long
stories,
run.
man. Yeah,
Correct. It sucks, but it's good for you. It builds character. It sucks for a long time. It sucks while you're going through it. 3 years later, you're still gonna wake up in cold sweats sometimes, going, "Oh man, if I had just made one different choice, what would my life be now?" Or blah blah blah. Like everybody thinks things like that.
Nah, putting people in a bear suit sounds good.
Well, but that's my point. So that's what even more so. I'm kind of surprised you didn't become a little more like akin to this movie. You know what I mean? Like if you flip the script,
yeah.
Let's just say it like this,
that's all I mean by that. So as far as the psychological aspect of the movie,
right?
I look at this like an artistic piece because I can go, well, I know I have depression. I know I have little bouts of anxiety, things like that I don't talk about. But I'm not afraid to like admit it. I just don't. They're my problems, and I've learned how to deal with them. But like some people, it's different in everybody's life, right? Like that's why like you really should never. I'm not by everything I just said. I'm not comparing my upbringing to Ben's. We're almost 10 years apart. Like we didn't grow up the same. We're literally we're two different generations. We're almost a decade apart. That's two different generations of human beings.
It's interesting. So like, you're talking about that generational thing. Sounds like how we are all generationally apart even today. It's almost like you guys are the exact mirror of like, what's culturally happening with how people deal with things. That's interesting. That's right there with two brothers.
Yeah, it's a good way to think, and that's why I try not to now at this point in my life. I really try not to ever go with Ben or my sister and go, well, I went through the worst. Like whatever my worst could have been.
You don't want to like a grumpy old man.
Well, it's not even that. It's like
as a kid.
No, but I mean, like
no, and you're definitely not saying it like that either. I know what you're saying.
But you know what I mean? Like, but I might have at one point though. Like I held it against. I at one point might have kind of looked at you and Cassie and been like, well, how come it was only me that saw this?
As a friend who's known you a long time, I've seen that when you were younger, but that's because you also became a father at a young age too. So there's a lot of like that build up.
But now at this point in my life, I try not to ever. I try. Not saying I'm perfect. I try. Just like I try not to say the retard word. I'll just say it. Like you try not to say that word because you're an adult and you're like, that offends certain people. I'm still gonna say retarded once in a while. Like it is what it because it's the way I grew up.
It was such like a commonly used word. Yeah.
Right. So I can't like. Do I feel bad if I say it in the wrong setting? Absolutely. But I try not to. But can I promise that I'll never like let it
Right.
slip again? No. Hence, what I'm saying is, um, with I try not to compare what I went through with whatever maybe Ben saw. I don't know because he was that much younger than me. I don't know what he saw at 3. If I had like I know what I saw at 3. You know what I mean? And I know what I witnessed at 3. And I know by the time he was 3, we kind of tried to get him out of there. But at the same time, as a 3-year-old, he didn't have a true father figure. Like he had me, and I was an asshole because of what I saw. You know what I mean? Like so, like did I stop the like? I try not to compare what I went through to Ben, and I also try not to go, well, you don't have the right to be anxious, Ben. You didn't see what I saw. I don't fucking know how Ben feels about things. We're not the same person. And I don't know what chemical imbalances he might have versus what I have versus look at you and your own brother. Like you guys are different people, but at the same time, you're closer in age, right? So you think you you think theoretically you kind of both saw the same thing, but you didn't. You know what I mean? Like so there are differences.
There are, yeah.
But
Oh,
you
yeah,
see what I'm
big
saying?
time.
So
Yeah.
so all I'm getting at is like don't ever, and I think that's a problem with a lot of what's going on nowadays on all sides of the coin. A lot of people feel entitled to feel bad, and now you have a lot of people on the other side going, yeah, but you haven't gone through anything to feel bad, right? So there's that. Which side do you?
It's like it's like putting two magnets together. That's how it is right now.
It's correct. Hey, polarizing, right?
Polarizing.
But that's
Whew.
but that's what.
Wow,
but
well,
that's
that
what
was a deep intro. Shit.
But it's true. I mean, but if
Yeah.
you know, but it's a good way to think about things. And that's a movie like this is beautiful because it does feel like that, and it can make people like me and Ben. We're brothers. We grew up in the same household, right? We saw entirely different things. So that goes to show you maybe that's part of why we look at a movie like this that isn't slashy slashy kill kill.
Damn.
And I look at it more, and I go, oh wow, that's beautifully tragic, you know? And Ben goes, nope, it sucked.
It's true.
But that's amazing that we both get like that polarizing of an idea with it.
All I hear at the end is just loud fucking old lady butts flapping in the wind. Fucking that's all I see. That's it. Yeah, I don't see.
Well, let me
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's let Joe fucking.
We weren't trying to hijack it. Yeah, we weren't trying to hijack it. I want to have a good conversation now.
This is what I'll do. I'll go with you guys now, but I'll start the conversation about the intro and how it hit me. Almost very similar, right down the middle with you guys.
Yeah.
I can't get too personal with stuff yet, but I also been through bad relationships. I hate toxic people. I hate toxic males, especially toxic males. We made jokes. We're like tough. We're nerdy Neanderthals, that's our big joke. We're always like we're dorks, but we act tough because we act tough because we've been through the bullying, we've been through all the all the.
If you follow 100 people that know me, they all think I'm like, I don't know, jock, dickhead, douchebag. Like I'm the I couldn't be more of a pussy.
But you're not. I mean, you played a lot of football when you were kids, but you were the first goth I knew that played football when I was a kid. That was hilarious. That was wild to me.
I was, yeah.
So you were like that goth new metal kid that could play football. Like, what the fuck? What?
The goth is still in there. My favorite color is still black.
We all got that.
And then you see the old pictures of Ed where like his entire wall is covered in fucking Marilyn Manson. Dude, that picture makes me die every fucking time I see it. Just like
it's not my it's not my wall. But
I
my
don't
wall
care. It's still so funny because you
had me.
You had the shirt.
That was me as well.
I will tell you, like, the beginning of this movie set the tone for me right away. Now it took me a while to. Now here's my reason not wanting to see this shit. I think maybe because I'm not used to seeing certain movies a certain way, or because I started getting older and I couldn't, and I've been watching more of the fun, crazy, gory, and some disturbing. But I think I got out of that phase where I didn't want to just see stuff that's just disturbing. It takes me a little bit longer.
I have always not watched certain movies because of that reason. I agree.
Hereditary, I took a long time to finally watch, and this one is another reason. Plus, it's 2.5 hour movies. I'd rather watch 2 movies in a row, 2 1.5-hour movies in a row, than watch a 2.5 hour movie.
That I can agree.
Which makes no sense. I love Dr. Sleep. I love the 3-hour long version of Dr. Sleep. I love Mandy, but it's just like certain movies. I'm like, I don't know if I could. To me, it feels like a torture fest, which makes no sense because I actually love torture porn horror movies like Saw and all that. But I'm like,
but it's
too old.
But dude, it's
different.
What I go like, how did my mind change? Different. It's weird.
It's entirely different. I get it. There's a lot of movies that are raved about that I just won't watch because I'm like, I just don't need to see that. I don't need.
This
That's what,
movie
like,
is
it's,
designed
I'm,
to invoke
hold on,
emotions.
me with the Human Centipede. I'm all set,
That's
dude. I have
I'm
no
glad you
interest
said
in
that.
watching that movie.
I
I
really
have
enjoyed the
zero
first
interest
one,
in seeing that movie.
but then I never want to see. And I was like, wow, I want to see the second and third, and I just lost interest. I was like, why
Yep.
do I really want
I don't want to.
see
And
that?
I've
you know?
seen all
I don't want to
three.
see those. I don't want to see those. I don't want to see fucking Tusk. I have
I've seen
zero
Tusk.
interest
Yeah, I only
in
saw
any
it
of those
once. That's
movies.
all I need. You know, Tuck's like
I just
comedy.
don't
It's
need to
so
see it.
weird.
I don't want to
It's
fucking
just
see it.
like,
I'm good.
And
Yeah.
that's the stuff I'll
does
watch
nothing for me.
every day. Like I could sit there, dude. I've seen
I get
Tusk.
it.
I've seen
Yeah.
Siberian Film. I've seen Human
See, I
Centipede.
won't watch that.
I've seen
And
Human
I'm
Centipede 1 through 3.
part of me wants to see a Siberian Film, but I don't know if I can do it.
It's not worth
Because
it.
I heard what's in that, and
Not worth it. I can just
So-
tell you.
So the beginning of this movie, like already you're getting like this. You're seeing Danny go through her anxiety and her depression and stuff like that. And she's worried about her sister. She has her. They're already setting the tone for her. Like, can't find her. What's going on with her sister? She's trying to communicate with her boyfriend Christian, and he's out with his friends. Now, that's typical. Guys like, oh, I'm out with my boys. Don't want me bothering my girlfriend. Yada yada. But then there's like this certain like, even the friends like, oh, it's her again. It's her again. But there's like a certain tone in there that was like pissing me off with this guy right away. I was like,
Does he have a
dude,
weird mouth?
no, I don't have that problem. I don't have.
That's an important
I don't
question.
have clenched jaw phobia.
Any weird mouths in this movie?
4 episodes in a row of
No.
clenched mouth rants.
There's not a weird not a single weird mouth in this
Not a
movie.
single
Oh,
mouth
so it's a
in that-
perfect 10 out of 10 for you then.
So
Not even a weird like puffy face girl that lays there once in a while. Like,
Bro,
that doesn't
there's
even bother me.
no telescopes.
No telescopes.
Oh my god.
There is cell phones though. There's a couple cell phones.
stay on the road. Stay on the same road, please.
One cell phone might lead to somebody getting buried in a garden.
Oh,
True.
yeah, we'll get to that. So, and you get to where I'm trying to remember. I was just like, we finally get to the part where something does happen with her parents and her sister. I'm just like, holy shit! Like, it was disturbing. It was well done, as in film wise, the way to just set you up. I forgot the actress's name that plays Danny. She's fantastic. The way she was just like, like
Florence
yeah.
Pugh.
Yeah.
Florence
Pugh. It's right here on this page. Florence Pugh. Yeah, Florence.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. It's right in this freaking thing. Because I printed a bunch
She
of
was on.
She's in Black Widow.
She was just in Black Widow. Yeah, she plays
Yelena Belova.
Oh, that's cool.
Man, she's really good in my Skeletori team.
Her acting in that scene where she's repeating no on the phone, and then she's practically screeching in her boyfriend's lap, and then that's what I felt for him. Like, all right, maybe this is a new relationship. He's just being a typical guy, and then he's being there for her. Great, and he's just like in shock because like, holy shit, I can't believe this happened to her. I'm an asshole. This is tragic. I mean, that whole thing, and ever since that scene, I was under a large amount of tension throughout the entire movie. It doesn't matter how fast it went, doesn't matter how slow it went. I was like, just like, I am fucking uncomfortable for the whole 2.5 hours. Which, let me tell you, it did not feel like 2.5 hours. Did not feel like it.
This movie does fly by.
But that, and even that alone, there's a lot of foreshadowing in this movie. So I think it kind of took away from it, kind of for me. But it didn't spoil anything. But I think it got my brain going, like, oh, I know what's going on. But also, you just know, because this guy did Hereditary. And this movie is not going to end well, one way or the other. You just know the style, but he still surprised you. But you just know the style, and I was just like, it didn't take away from it, the foreshadowing, but maybe it made it easier for me because like I was able to handle the shock. I don't know, maybe and it's just like, but like that intro itself was just probably one of the most heaviest scenes I've seen in horror cinema. That alone right there like really set the tone. And then that's why I'll stop there so we can start moving along.
And well, to go off that point too, Ari Aster is really already he's 2 movies deep. He is already so good at here's that fucking shock, like stab you in the gut with that like tension feeling. He did it in Hereditary with that clicky girl and gets her fucking head knocked off. That build up
to that scene was, I think, probably some of the best building in writing.
Let me tell you too.
For a movie like that, for horror movies.
Well, I saw Hereditary I saw both in the theaters. I saw Hereditary in the theaters. I don't think I've ever heard a noise so loud in my life than when I keep forgetting her name. I'm so sorry. The clicky noise when her head fucking pops right off. I've never heard a sound so loud in my entire life. Like with
Surround
the
sound
movie.
decapitation.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Oh, listen,
If you-
pussies. If
Well,
you
that one's
if
If
you
you've never,
fucking,
if you,
oh, boo hoo.
that was. I mean, it's older than Midsommar. We can
Yeah.
spoil a little more on that one.
True.
What was that?
I don't
2015,
care.
2016.
I don't fucking care, to be honest with you at all. So
Yeah.
if you don't know what we're talking about yet, and you're watching this show, I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Don't
get
lose
the
your head
net.
over it.
Yeah. Wow. Don't be like Petey the parakeet and lose your head. That's a Dumb and Dumber
Oh
reference.
God, another
bird.
one. Jesus. Ah!
Pretty bird. Pretty bird. All right. So my allergies are going crazy. My nose is going out. Sorry, I apologize.
No,
So
yeah.
listen, I agree, Joe. I personally, there's a lot of setup and tone. Now we don't get a lot of that beginning scene in the rest of the movie, but there it pops up here and there.
Mhm.
I am wondering if it returns at all or becomes any more poignant in the director's cut, but I don't know. I haven't seen that part, so I don't know that much about it. But I do know that there are definitely some disturbing imagery. There's some good setup to that part of it. Like, you know, realistically, like, does Danny hold not calling 911 against what's the boyfriend's
Yeah.
name?
Christian.
Fucking Christian.
There's Christian. Yeah, I forgot about
Christian,
that.
because he goes, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine.
Hmm
Maybe if she didn't, just worry about it.
See,
It's
that
gonna be
bothers me
fine.
about me being an easygoing person. Sometimes I'm on the ball, sometimes I'm like, it'll be okay, and then it bites you in the
Yeah.
ass, and that's a worse feeling for something like that, to happen.
But at the same time, it's a lot of people's natural reaction.
He's a
is
dick
just
anyway,
like,
so-
calm down. No, he is. Well, the thing is, as we learn later on in the movie, he is a douche. But at
Can I
that
say
point,
something
it
real
could
quick
have been.
about that? And before I forget, you know what was interesting? They made it look like they were only dating 6 months at that point. They've been
Yeah.
together for a few years.
4 years.
Yeah, well, that was why
That
I think
that pissed me off about him even more.
well, that's the point, right? See,
I know, I know it's the point, but I was like, when they said that, like, we're like a half hour, almost an hour in the movie, like, oh yeah, how long you guys been together? 4 years? Like, what? You've been together 4 years? You act like a whole brand new boyfriend with her and what? You're a douchebag.
Yeah, he was a douche. There's a lot of guys like that though.
And every time you try to do moments you seem redeemable, it's like this. You're like, oh, okay, that's not bad. And then they just get you again. And you're like, you know what? Screw this guy. He needs to get hit in the head or thrown off a cliff.
Are you ready for
Yeah.
a weird, like, here's my Ed's, so like Ed has this thing with like cell phones and telescopes. Here's my weird thing. Why the fuck did somebody communicate? Oh shit, Ed just killed the whole thing. Why the fuck did people communicate with emails? I will never email my brother anything.
I wrote that down. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That bothered me.
I thought I was cracking up.
What happened if I never checked it? It's an email. It's stupid. I thought that was so
You never
dumb.
know what everybody communicates differently. So that's what I gotta say about that. That's my reach.
Nope.
There's 300 something people in the world. Nobody communicates the
There's
same.
300 something people. That's it.
300 million. I don't know what the hell I was trying to say. I meant the states.
Oh, true. No, that was so fucking stupid. They're
My
communicating.
math is terrible again today.
They're communicating via email to say, which off that too. See, like, there's so much to unpack with that first like half hour, and then virtually nothing for 2 hours, and then whatever.
All right, now you nothing.
No, I'm just messing around.
Come on.
Also, like, there's just like weird parts that just like kind of like, it's like, why communicate via email? Why did this guy randomly just be like, how convenient, like, I'm gonna take a piss and like I'm gonna just take a pee on this tree, and like I know Joe's gonna be like, well,
Do you not watch you ever watch guys do stupid stuff like that?
Thank you.
People in general do stupid shit.
But like, I couldn't like, for me,
some of our friends we don't talk to anymore have done stupid stuff like that.
True. I'm not like that, but I don't know. I'm weird because I'm always like, yo, like, where's a bathroom? Because like that's just how my brain works. But this guy, this tree obviously looks significant. Oh, I'm not a douchebag. I'm just an asshole. There's a big difference. There's a lot to it, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna.
That dude was worse than Christian. If you don't mind, that dude was
piss right here.
That guy pissed me off even more too. I'm like, this.
Oh, he's an asshole. He's a fucking loser. What else?
Wait, did we skip a bunch of stuff? Or are we already talking about the dude pissing on ass?
Ben's just jumping things that
No,
drove
I was
him
just
nuts.
saying stuff that just drove me nuts, but there's a
Yeah.
lot that drove me
He's Eddie today with all the
stupid.
little
It's
little.
so fucking stupid. Like what there's other things. There's a lot in this that I'm just like that's so fucking stupid, and it's just,
We were prepared for this, though.
I know.
Oh, I was. I was. That's why I'm just going like this because I'm.
No,
I see a
I can.
vein pop.
I
There's
can.
something popping off here. Is that a vein or is
Probably.
that a fissure? What is that?
Oh, who knows?
Your head's cracking.
I can talk until I'm blue in the face, as we already know that. So and I can definitely. I should have probably sought out being a defense lawyer as a youthful fellow because I
You'd be pretty good actually at that.
I had a stint.
The
in
judge would probably
law.
have to pull you back. Like, whoa, come back a little bit, buddy.
I'd be like, man, I don't know what you just said, sir, but we are all 10 points dumber because of it. So
Because of
and I would
what
go,
you just said. May God have mercy
And I
on your
go-
soul. People know what it just worked.
but I'm right. And then he would go, I mean, probably, So here,
Yeah.
so the movie kind of progressed a little bit. You see a little bit more of the relationship building. What we're kind of skipping over though is a lot of already.
Yeah, bring back.
beautiful-
It's usually it's going to rants. Let's go right. Into,
I get it. We're forgetting a lot of like the beautiful setup to certain things because this movie it is long and it does take a long time to set things up. But that's what I like about it. Like there's a scene when Danny's character shows up at the apartment where the boys are talking about going to Sweden or whatever, right? And
Sweden,
then when she gets there, you don't see her for I don't know 2 minutes or whatever the fuck it is. It's a long shot of just watching the uncomfortable 4 dudes or 3 dudes sitting there. Like, and it's her reflection next to Christian in like a mirror or a picture rather, and she's like, "Hey, I mean, I guess I'm going with you guys," and like, I love the fact that it's just a single shot camera, like watching these 3 like 20-something-year-old college dudes be completely uncomfortable with having I think
it's 4 actually.
Well, there's 4 dudes in the room. There's Christian, the Swedish dude,
Christian,
the black
Josh,
dude, and right?
Josh, yeah, it's Christian,
The pissing
Josh,
guy.
Pell, and
So there's Pele, Josh, and Mark.
Mark's
and
the pissing
Christian.
guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Mark is the dude who was in.
We're the Millers.
Yeah, he was in that movie.
Yeah,
which was actually
he was supposed to be Pennywise too.
Yeah, and then that.
Darn.
I'm glad that
It went to Bill Skarsgård, who
Which
who did
was
fucking
fantastic.
amazing.
who nailed it.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, so I mean, it's 4 dudes, but 3 of them, like 3 of the friends, because you see Christian get up and you can see him sitting there and he's trying to explain to them like, oh yeah, I haven't even really told her yet, so you're hearing more of his bullshit. Like the kid just lies through his teeth, and then like you see her come in and like you see her reflection standing next to Christian talking about, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna go, and now they're all like uncomfortable because they were just told by Christian that like, well, he hasn't even really brought it up to her yet, and so like this is when you're starting to kind of see the fact that the dude is like playing both sides and he's kind of a dick. You already kind of know that he's a dick, but like you're getting more and more of that though at this point. Then there's a beautiful scene where like she kind of gets upset and like goes to walk in a bathroom, and then it like turns into
the
an
transition.
airplane bathroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a fucking awesome shot. Like if you're a movie fan or a cinema fan, like
Yeah.
it's so simple.
I appreciate
that was
the
cool.
cinema of this movie. The cinema of this movie was just very. You go from even the cinema during the beginning of the movie, like how it pulled you with how traumatic this event is, and then to pull you into this other stuff. It's already it either grab you right away or won't. And it grabbed me right away, and then I started keep seeing all those subtle camera changes and to really show what's going on through her head without showing what's going on in her head. You know, and yeah, I even if I did not like the movie, that throughout the whole movie was some amazing camera stuff and angles and stuff like that. Yeah,
and that's this dude's thing is phenomenal. Long takes, very good, well shot like intricate scenes. Some of the goddamn camera work he fucking did in this movie is I don't know how he did it. Some of it because it's phenomenal, and how bright this movie is, and how beautifully shot this movie is, and the colors fucking like scream off the screen. It's wild. I mean, it's wild. This movie's super dark for like the first 20 minutes, half hour of the movie. Then all of a sudden, like once they get to Sweden, it's just like you have to put sunglasses on to watch this movie. It's so bright. It's fucking insane. But then like so they go from that point or whatever. They go over to Sweden, and like you can kind of see little hints early on that Pele is like kind of like trying to chum up to fucking Danny or whatever. And I love when they get there and they get to the field when the mushroom scene, right? The early on mushroom scene. Dude, holy fucking hell. Does that feel like it's very similar to what it can feel like sometimes on mushrooms? Like psilocybin can make things swirly like that. Like did you guys notice all the stuff going on in the background or no?
The
Because a
cool
lot of
thing
people,
was
I
in the
think that goes
tree.
over a lot of people's heads.
There's like shit going up the tree or whatever,
Dude.
and like because the guy was like, "Oh, you can see the tree breathe," and like she looks at it and like you can actually see
Everything
like
in that movie throughout the entire movie was
It was, like,
freaking
moving
breathing.
and
Okay,
stuff, yeah.
everything was breathing.
Yeah.
So
There are
I think the whole
faces and
movie
leaves.
was meant to be an
You
acid
see
trip.
when she looks down, the fucking grass is growing through her hands.
Yep.
That was fucking amazing, or whatever at the very beginning part. Now that's not
Definite.
Don't
That was foreshadowing.
exactly do that, but they do make you see things like, and I don't mean like they don't make you see like Mickey Mouse. No, they make you see.
Well,
like
I mean, you're getting
swirly...
mushrooms from a Midsommar cult, so I don't know what the frick's in that. Like,
No,
U.S. mushrooms and Swedish mushrooms. Come on.
Early on, psilocybin is psilocybin. Like early on, the first time when they're all sitting in the field and like she just seemed like
you don't
like,
take
that's
mushrooms
real.
from cults, man.
No, well, the dandelion shit, I don't know
Manson,
about that. That's
him with LSD. Yeah, don't touch that shit.
well, I mean, MK Ultra was real, and you never, there's a whole
Mortal
MK
Kombat?
Ultra is involved with Midsommar.
I mean, different things. LSD is a little bit different, a little bit more of mind.
No, I'm just being funny. I know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but it is like that's a common misconception of where a lot of people just go, oh yeah, you would see if you take mushrooms, yeah, you'll see grass growing through the hands. No, you won't. That's not what happens. I've gone fucking deep, dude. I've gone real fucking deep. No, you don't. You do see weird shit, but what happens is your mind almost like opens up a little bit and it becomes more. Your senses heighten, so you become a little bit more aware or hyper aware of everything. Like lights become brighter and colors become more vivid, and then you will see certain patterns and you will see certain things that things can look like they swirl, things can look like they melt, things can look like they, and I don't mean like wax melting. I just mean like there's like a weird like dripping. Like, have you ever seen stars? If you hit your head or something, or if you get a little dehydrated, you see stars floating around the sky. It's kind of like that. But
right.
Anyways, so that was actually, I thought it was well done as far as somebody who's
a building breathing.
proponent.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, well,
that was it for me. That was about 20 years ago. So that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent in the old psilocybin. I'm a frequent flyer, if we would like to say that. And I have no problem talking with it. I am a frequent flyer of Narnia, USS Narnia. So I personally really enjoyed that scene. I really enjoyed the lead up into them getting into when they finally get to, I don't know how to pronounce where they go, but when they get to like the camp, right? And then this is where it really, Flugengard or something, what the fuck, whatever the hell it's called. I don't have the.
Man, I can't read my own handwriting. Isn't that a bitch?
I don't know. It really doesn't matter. I pull it up so I can see other name.
Hargar or Harga?
Hargar, yeah, Harga.
Yeah, I think that's where they were.
Sammy Hargar.
Yeah, Harga, Rural Highland. So then it gets to the point where they're doing more setup, and it's a lot of really like long takes.
Can I throw something in there real quick?
Yeah, sure. Please,
I know when I try to go scene for scene. I was gonna say another part of her, how the because she was taking, I think, mushrooms for the first time, and to play with, remember she saw the grass growing on her. She freaked out and had another one of her attacks, and that alone was still kind of anxiety inducing because you already know what's going on with her. You already know the tension is that there's a lot of the comedy reminded me of Hostel, just 10 times darker.
Yeah.
Like that party, that party joking, a party type of mentality, that type of humor, and then you get these crazy Americans going to another country doing crazy shit, and then having that type of humor, but like it keeps hitting you with all these different forms of like darkness and trauma, because most of it's through Danny's eyes, and then so she had I guess that was a bad trip, I guess you could say, to some degree. What happened to her?
Yeah, it's I've rarely seen people have quote unquote bad trips on mushrooms, but she also drank tea, which can hit you different than eating them. Mm-hmm. It can hit you a lot faster.
Well, we learned that tea is not trusting either.
Well, that again, the dandelion thing is different than like mushroom tea.
Cult tea.
Mushroom tea
I'm
really is.
hashtagging that shit.
No, mushroom tea really is as simple as taking psilocybin mushrooms and putting it in hot water, just like you'd steep regular tea. And drinking the liquid really does. I mean, but it's like taking an edible versus smoking weed. It's just different. Like your body metabolizes different. So somebody never doing it before, especially with the way where her mindset is. Now I'm somebody with depression. I take mushrooms for depression. Like it makes me feel way better, like way better.
Sure.
But I have seen people break down because they can't handle it, because they just don't, they're not ready to let their mind go. And if you fight it, that's when you have a hard time. And somebody like her at that point in her life was probably trying to fight it. Like she didn't want to let go. She didn't want to like accept what happened because it was still very prevalent in what was going on with her like day to day. You know, no matter how much she tried to like bury it, she also didn't want to acknowledge it. So the longer you go with not acknowledging some kind of a trauma or something, the more mushrooms are gonna like go, come on, just if you just fucking let it go, if you just open that door, you're gonna feel better. Exactly, you know. So, anyways, that's what happens. So then they get to the you know to the cult whatever, and they're meeting everybody. And by this point, you know, you're seeing a lot of artwork. Now, there's a couple things that we like skipped over. If you want to, you know, not to get into
Go through it
spoiling,
quick. Yeah.
there's a couple spoiler things in the movie really early on. Like
Even
if you
at the
there's a part
very first shot of the movie.
very beginning, there's a painting,
Yep.
and it tells you the whole movie. Like it literally shows you the whole movie. If you weren't paying attention to it, that's literally the whole movie in a painting. And then there's another one that like when they're walking around, they see like the love potion painting, and you see exactly what happens
Oh,
during the love
somebody
potion
printed
painting,
it.
which is
Yep.
fucking yucko.
That nope.
Um,
That
yeah,
shit was
which is
gross.
fucking major yucko.
That guy didn't
Which,
notice his drink was different color than whatever.
well, that scene was wild because like I don't remember seeing. I remember seeing the painting the first time, and I remember like that girl hitting on him, but I don't remember that scene where they're eating food, and it's so obvious that his drink is
Way
a
different.
little more has a little more grapefruit juice in it than everybody else's, and and but
And
like
that jerk still drinks. That usually tells you how
dude, the
stupid he is.
fucking scene, but nobody else notices either. The scene is
Mhm.
so like it's such a long shot just on them, and it's like the focal point is his drink. Like it's kind of, yeah, the whole time you're going like like come on man, don't drink it, don't drink
The
it, don't
love
drink it. Like,
potion. That was
and
it.
then he eats that fucking like cake or whatever, and he pulls out a hair, and then you go, fuck, he's gonna wash it down. God damn it, he's gonna wash, and like sure as shit he washes it down and like barely flinches. You know what I mean? But at the same time, but still nobody notices that his
I
drink is a
forgot
weird
he
color.
did
Like,
that. I was like,
yeah,
oh. And you see her looking at him the whole time. I'm like, oh.
Well, they got you.
Yeah.
Well, they got you good because the whole time I think it's Mark was the kid. The right, is that his name?
the one who pissed. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark is like, oh fuck, dude, is that a pube in the thing? And like they did a good job, and like right when he eats it, they switch the camera angle away from the drink to kind of have you. It's like a
Yeah.
magician's trick. They it's the diversion. They did a good diversion to kind of make you forget about that, and then they focused on it again, and then he swigs.
Did. And that's what I mean by the humor, right? The humor again was like hostile, but then when you get to the whole thing of this, and you make it feel like this does not seem right, and then the way they talk to each other, I'm just like, stop doing that. You're in a whole different culture, and you're acting like assholes like that. Like tone it down a little bit. And I was like you people make me uncomfortable.
There's always going to be at least one dickhead college kid though, like with something like that. There, I mean, and it's a trope of a movie, but at the same time, there are people like that are just
they're all like
dickhead
that.
idiots. And then I
Those
like the fact
tropes exist. I know a lot of people complain about them. Those tropes exist. They are real life people.
they exist because it's reality. They exist because there are people like that in real life every
Can I
day.
say though, Josh's character is the only one who wasn't really that much of a dick. I think he was a good character actually. Like he was
great.
He was, and then the only thing with him was
he wanted to write the thesis, right?
Yeah. I like, wow, this dude's actually really cool. He's not like the rest of them. His thing is he got obsessed with his thirst for knowledge type of thing. That's an interesting metaphor with his whole story. That was fascinating.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to. I'm willing to go back. I don't want to jump.
No, yeah. I mean, realistically, we don't have to go through this one like that. I mean, there were a lot of. Put it this way, there's a lot of. I don't want to spoil too much because there's a lot that you can spoil in this movie. It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling a lot of things, without talking about specific scenes.
Oh, how about this real quick? How about the sacrificial scene real quick?
I need to refresh my drink. So how about this?
Okay.
You talk about that.
Refresh mine when you come back.
Which sacrifice scene? Oh, the old people.
The old people. That is.
Yeah. You can talk about that because All right. So how about this? How far are we in? About a half hour already, right?
50 minutes.
Wow.
50 minutes?
Yes, sir.
On this movie?
Yes.
But we did have a pretty long intro
Recording?
too.
I have the timer
Wow.
right here.
Hey. Spoiler alert time. I almost just fucked up that word. Spoiler alert time. When I get back from mixing my beverage, we're just gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want. So if you're with us and you're upset about worried about spoilers,
Oh, damn.
We're gonna move
done.
fast. But we're still with certain scenes. I definitely want to reach.
I'm taking it close because we can't talk about certain scenes without spoiling.
Yeah.
So like
we have to.
and we're getting to the point where like even if we want to talk about like if we actually want to talk about like the psychology of things or whatever, we can't do it without spoiling the movie. So at this point, sorry guys, like whatever like little noise you want. I'm gonna fucking mix this drink real quick so you guys can talk about whatever you want.
All right.
As soon as I come back, we'll talk about the sacrifice scene. Hey Joe, pick Ben's brain a little bit more about if he thinks any of the cinematography is that better or anything. That'll be interesting because I'll walk away.
Well, how we? Okay, all right.
He's already gone. That's it. He's out of there. He's so.
Well, you know what? How about we'll keep talking about the sacrificial scene until he comes back, and then we'll see his thing on it. But like, what we know. I mean, we can't. You already said you like the cinematography a little bit. You know, you don't like the movie, right? I mean,
I can at least give credit where credit is due. That's why my score is going to be a little higher than what I presented it to look like. I guess.
You gonna tell us your first score first when we get there? Like, were you originally?
Oh, what I originally thought it was?
Yeah. Tell us the whole thing. Give us a whole.
All right, so I guess we'll do it like that. So
Not now, but
people who have watched Bonded by Horror, which by the way, thank you a lot, know that. What the hell are you doing? Know that I've been saying there's a reason why we're doing this movie for the most part, and it's because I just don't like it. I'm just not a fan.
We brought it up a lot because Ed's been saying a lot about summer movies. He says, "Oh, we gotta do Midsommar." You just like go off on it, and then I think it's at least 3 episodes you said that like we're doing it, and then finally at the Fair Street we said we're doing this.
Yes,
yes. It's just the fact I'd never seen it. You know?
I saw it in theaters with my mom, and she is, let's just say it like this, she is probably one of the most optimistic people you'll ever meet.
I know that feeling.
True. So let's just say it like this, man. When the last like 20 minutes are going on, and when she's like, ugh, even she was looking like, dude, can we fucking leave? Because this movie, oh my god. There, like, I will say, especially when we're about to talk about the sacrificing scene, with the old people. I don't. Well, that's not really the sacrificing scene, because that's
considered a sacrificing scene. There's 2 sacrificing scenes.
I guess so.
That is
when they turn 72.
When they turn, I thought it was 75. Was it 72?
Nope, because the whole point was.
Oh shit! See, I can't be that cold. I want to be at least 75 before I jump off a cliff and kill myself.
Nope, that's gonna be 65 for me. Anyway, nope, because the whole.
It would never be me because I don't like heights.
Yeah,
so
true. Yeah, me too.
I don't be jumping off cliffs. You're fucking crazy.
They consider it 4 seasons, and then the summertime, and what Danny was like, oh, what happens when you turn 72? And the guy's like, oop, and he does this. So that's what they were leading up towards.
Well, did you when it happened, and they were saying this is our culture. Now, of course, there's a part of me that's like, okay, maybe that's it, but it seems a little too disturbing to me. If somebody says that to you, would you really believe that, or would you be like just like the 2 characters, Simon and Connie, actually the other 2 couples that hang out with this group? Would you be like them and freak out and want to get the heck out of there?
Putting myself in, all right, so if we're talking like I'm putting myself in the perspective of Danny and the people, Americans or like outsiders who have no idea what's going on. I like if I'm being serious for a second, I would, unfortunately with something like that, like you have to understand, like, yeah, it's crazy, but like Christian had a point with it before we go into what it really is. Christian actually made the most sense there in saying, dude, like they probably think we're fucking. I hated him. Probably thinking, hey, we're crazy because we put people, old people, in fucking senile homes and then just forget about them. Like, fuck them. Like
that was actually a very good comparison. I think I'm trying to find the right word, or like outlook, it's observation.
It's different cultures. Like it's you have to view. Culturally, it's a different thing. Before, do you see how fucking fast it just sprinted in?
That was fast. Let me get mine real quick. I'll be right back.
Now everybody's leaving.
Now we're back.
Uh-oh. We're losing Joe. Do you need another beer, or do you have to pee?
Yeah, he had to go sacrifice somebody.
What I missed?
We were talking about Joe asked a good question. How would you have reacted during the first sacrifice scene with the 272-year-olds? How would you have personally reacted if you were in the perspective of the outsiders? Would you react like the people like freaking out and be like, "Don't jump," or would you? I said I'd be a little bit more respectful.
We about.
I asked that the question that you asked me.
Perfect. That's right. I'm right back in timing. That's good.
Nobody really knows exactly how they're going to handle a weird situation. I have had to face some traumatic things in real life, ODs and certain things. So I know how I react to some things. I've never seen a dude jump off a fucking cliff and smash his face open, but
right,
I have seen I have seen some things. So what I would do if I was in that situation, probably remain as calm as humanly possible. Because you don't know if they're going to attack you. You don't know, but I'll tell you this much.
Or because you disrespect, because you're acting up. You know, you don't disrespect their culture because you're
I would like that. 100% get the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I possibly could. I would not be sitting around. I would not let them talk me into drinking any dandelion tea. I would just be like, hey, you know what, guys?
Now that's an interesting point because I thought the same thing. But then again, because they already started tripping, because they already started drinking it, was it easy to manipulate them because of that?
No, because all they took were regular mushrooms the first day. They hadn't drinking anything else.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms are mushrooms, dude. I'm going to stick up for them. Don't give psilocybin a bad name, you motherfucker. Don't you slander it.
I'm sorry.
They're beautiful.
Oh, by the way, we're going from Fest to Fear of the Dark Iron Maiden beer.
Yeah, well, I'm going to fucking give you some Fear of the Dark. This is just vodka and a whole bunch of fucking seltzer water.
Yeah.
This is water.
I got water too. Nice try.
Yeah, I got water too. It's called ice cubes that melt in my fucking drink.
Oh, yeah? Well, I have soda.
Ooh, that's nice. What is this? I know it's a dark lager of some sort.
All right, so yeah. It would be tough, like I was saying.
Yeah, I mean,
oh god,
you're not gonna just run away because you don't know what they're gonna do. They all seem like very nice and peaceful people, but like,
well, one of them had a hammer. I mean, that's your like Viking hammer shit right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did like the old lady's like dialogue afterwards trying to explain like, oh, this is you know, I respect the way that they live their life. I like that religion technically more than I like a lot of other religions as far as the way they look at shit. Like, hey, this is from 0 to certain age, this is what is that, springtime or whatever, then this is summertime, and then this is fall, and then this is winter is dark, whatever the fuck it was. Like, I like the way that they live their life like that. I mean, I don't know if 72 is exactly the perfect jumping off point. See what I did there?
Oh,
see what I did there?
That was really clever.
So you did.
Let me just say,
good, right? Now,
72, 27.
Here's one thing that I don't quite understand. Now, there were, fuck it, spoiler alert, let's go into like some things that I didn't understand or that I caught on to, maybe that I was a little upset about, because I like this movie. So we're gonna get into all the things I love. We already did some of it. Let's get into just some of like the nitty gritty of the movie. There were a couple loose ends. One of them being this festival happens every 90 years. I don't know if anybody else caught on to that or not, but apparently this thing only happens every 90 years. Yet the lifespan of these people is every 72 years. So like, does somebody, when they turn 72, just off themselves not at this thing?
Yeah, it's whenever they turn 72. So this just happened when people were turning 72. It just kind of.
Oh,
yeah, but
I know
what
I'm getting at. So
what I'm getting at though is they're not getting together every single year. They don't have a May Queen every single year. This is a once in a one every. So in other words, they do the sacrifice thing once every 90 years.
Right.
I think that's why there's 9 people, right? Is it 9 or 8? Yeah, there's 9 people that they give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was 2 that were from the live sacrifices from the cult, 2 that were old, which are the 2 old people. Then there were 2 new blood, and someone else. Whatever and then there's one person, and then the May Queen gets to pick whether there's like a new blood person goes, or whether it's an old somebody from the cult. And when she's all numb and crazy looking, she doesn't turn her face away from Christian when he's all fucking doped up. But they know that she's gonna pick him because they kind of set that up. But so that's why he gets put into the bear suit at the end, because it's up to the May Queen to decide. Well, the May Queen showed zero emotion at that point because she was like she totally lost her shit at that point, and was covered up in fucking flowers. So you know, but that's what they say at the end. Like that's the theory behind it. So there's nine. I believe there's 9 people in there right total. So there's 4 from the thing. There's 4 from outsiders. And then there's because they had the Indian or not Indian, I don't know, with the 2 English people. There was the Connie and something else.
Simon and Connie.
Simon and
I
Connie.
want
So
to
they were 2.
I want to get the character's name right.
They were 2. Mark and Josh were 2, which is odd. I just caught on to that. Mark and Josh. You know, I don't know, somebody's brother and dad.
Oh my god, my brother, my dad. Holy, that is a little weird.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
like, that meant nothing to
like,
me. So I was like,
it's a weird here. It was like that is weird. Wow.
I just noticed that, and it's even funnier. Is I mean, you should show Josh because that would be funny. I'm sorry, bad joke. But you know it. See, I got to laugh at something that was inappropriate. That's awesome. He's pleading the fifth tonight. He's not gonna laugh. He's just gonna smirk like a son of a bitch that he is. He knows. Anyways, the other guy Josh would get the joke. He's just gonna. He's trying to cleanse that laugh away. I love it. Keep on trying to wash that laugh away, buddy. I got it. I get to smirk, you son of a bitch. All right. Keep on knocking my fucking mushrooms, you motherfucker. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. All right. So
don't trust the cult shrooms, man.
So Mark, Josh, Connie, and Simon all are like the people that were brought in, and Pele and one of his buddies were like renounced because they brought people to be sacrificed, and Pele brought the May Queen.
He just wanted to fuck
they
Danny.
knew that was going to be happening, which I mean I don't blame him, but and then it's up to them to decide, like, you know, because realistically, if Danny didn't become the May Queen, she probably could have been offered up as a sacrifice also, if you think about it, because they have the 9th person is up to whoever the May Queen is to decide. So like maybe if it was one of the cult people, they probably would pick one of either Danny or Christian at that point.
Using their sweet bingo machine.
Yeah. Well, no, the bingo machine is how they decided to. The bingo machine is how.
The bingo machine just did it for me. I'm like, okay, really?
But do you know what that was for, like? That I believe is for the bear suit. It was the bear suit.
Yeah.
So
oh my god.
They already know that yellow building is the yellow building. Like they know that they're going to light that on fire. They build it for the 90-year or whatever, and they know 8 people are going to be in there. And that's why if you look at the design on the table when they eat, it's the same design as the pattern of inside the building.
Yeah, that's right. So I was trying to condition that with runes and shapes and inverted runes.
Because isn't the shape on the stone that the old people fucking write their hands on or whatever with the blood, isn't that kind of in the same shape too? I know that's supposed to be that's supposed to be something else in the movie too.
That is a let me see. Hang on, I got it.
The show. I can't remember.
The fucking lottery thing is whoever the 9th person is what. Like that's how their fate's gonna be handed.
That's an inverted rune on the stone, and it's called the Merkstav. So it's like it's the gift of generosity or sacrifice, but because we got inverted, it's the opposite of divine blessing and protection. And which is interesting because they see it as kind of a blessing, but if it's inverted, but that's also so that's very interesting.
Well, those
and
two.
Inverted doesn't always mean negative. It doesn't always mean negative, but just it's definitely the opposite of like what
Those 2 old people turn into scarecrows at the end. So I mean, that's the other thing. The one thing I had a hard time with. So the 90, we already talked about the 90-year thing, and that wasn't summed up the way I thought it would, because they don't get into like what they do the rest of the time. Like, so they must have some kind of a yearly meetup or something, but they only have.
They have to, because they talk about they do the stuff with the old people all the time.
So in that culture, when they turn 72, they're gone. Like they're
right, gone. But the sacrifice is only done every 90 years. So
during
like
the May Queen.
Right. So
in real life, it's every 9 years in real life. Actually, the May Queen.
Maybe that's what they said. Maybe it was 9. I thought it said
9.
No,
it's 90.
No, it's 90.
It is 90.
But
okay, all right.
They changed it for more of this.
So that was weird. I had a really hard time because you don't actually see people get killed. That the 3rd or 4th watch now, that I would have. I do agree with. I think Ben kind of brought that up earlier. They should have shown
something.
Mark getting skinned. They should have shown Josh getting killed, other than the hammer to the head. They should have shown. They did show Simon. I liked Simon's reveal. The fucking blood eagle was wild to see. They don't show what happens to Connie. Like they don't
Yes,
show.
I thought he was a flower. I thought he was a flower when they.
Yeah,
But I guess
it's a
more of
big ass
bird
blood
or-
eagle because the fucking
No, it's a blood
lungs
eagle.
kept inflating and
That's a Viking
deflating.
thing.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
right.
real.
Blood eagles are old medieval they
Mhm.
torture. That's
It's a real.
right.
It's,
I
a,
forgot.
it's real. That's a real thing. That was a real
That's
Viking
right.
thing. That wasn't like made up for the movie. That
That's
was
right.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah, you stay
yeah,
alive
yeah.
when that happens.
Yeah,
Let's go with the
he
blood
was
eagle.
he was still alive.
Yeah, I thought because
was
I
breathing.
saw everything breathing throughout the movie. I thought that's what Christian
No,
saw.
he
but
he was
every
alive.
theory I read, he was still.
No, he was actually alive. Yeah.
And his eyes were cut out
Yeah.
and
That's
shit.
why. That's
Yep.
why this thing's this
Yeah.
big. Well, yeah, and he's got flowers there though too,
Yep.
like his eyes.
I-
Cut.
Yeah.
But everything had like a. Go ahead, sorry.
No, it's fine. But like, so like I don't know. It's just weird because like also, so you see the two old people. How did their faces look fine afterwards? Like the lady totally
that's why
smashed her face in.
But that's what I was getting at is like it was hard to make out who all the scarecrow people were. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think they did a good job with that part of it. I really didn't enjoy that part. I think they should have. I think they should have spent a little less time.
Yeah, that
on
was
some of
hard
the really long takes.
to suspend disbelief
Decipher.
on
It
the
was hard
two.
to decipher it because like I get the two people who were sitting there and they take the fucking flower thing to numb themselves and yet the
And it
guy
didn't
still
even work.
fucking screams when he's getting burned.
Yeah.
So I think that was
Call
fucking
shit,
crazy.
man. Oh, you're not gonna feel any pain. That poor bastard. The minute he caught on
Bullshit.
fire, he's screaming.
Right. But yet they blow that fucking dust in Christian's face and he can't.
And
he becomes
that worked.
completely fucking paralyzed.
Yeah, that works for him.
Which I'm sure that's what they did to that dude Simon, like to fucking get him in that position. They must have done something to him to keep him alive because it's not. That was a real thing though. The Vikings really used to do that.
Yeah, I know. I
But,
heard the Blood Eagle. I've heard of it. I just
The show
researched that.
The show Vikings they do it. In
They
one of the
do it.
first episodes.
Yeah,
Not
don't they like
surprised.
you like literally see it too and shit?
Well, yeah,
kinda.
but no. I mean, not as good as this. But they show the guy getting. They show like somebody getting cut, but they don't actually show the cuts. They just show they show the guy like.
It's definitely
taking,
not
like,
as
a man's
graphic
everything.
like Game of Thrones is. Let's just say it like that.
At the and at the end they
Event
fucking
Horizon
show his
does a
back
Blood
open.
Eagle kind of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
More the front though.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Bloody Eagle thing was real, but like, so that's the only one that they really show. And then like you just see Josh's foot sticking out of like the garden, which like I get that, but man, they should have fucking showed what happened to like Mark just disappears and you never hear from him again. Like I thought that was kind of whack. I would have liked to see a little more of that. Like
Mark
what
was
actually happened.
interesting. You see how messed up his face was when he went to disappear with that girl, because he's checking this girl out the whole time. She's checking him out. So again, another weird hostile moment. And then he disappears with her, and then he don't come back until Josh is trying to secretly take notes out of the rune book. Because he's for his thesis and stuff, which is like, oh, dude, no, why are you doing that? That's why I said the thirst for knowledge, because like, and I don't blame him because I wouldn't be able to sleep without knowing because of how interesting that whole entire area is. I don't blame the man. But like, when you see Josh, he's in his tutty whities. He's got a little blood on him, so obviously what happened there because it happened to Christian with his little rendezvous with his little what's the shit. I'm trying to find another one. I did all my notes. What's the word for that? The actual word for like a ritual like that. I really wish I highlighted because my handwriting's terrible. Fertility and procreation. That's what when he was like, with the redhead. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, but see, I don't know if that was what that was because that wasn't. It was just there was like a Leatherface situation. That was somebody wearing Mark's face as a mask.
So you don't think that was Mark?
No,
no,
not killing his buddy.
It wasn't.
No,
Mark.
that's the whole point. No,
he
that
didn't
was
hit his buddy though. Somebody else hit his buddy. He was distracted by seeing his buddy looking like that, and somebody hit him from behind.
Because it was a Leatherface situation. Somebody wore his friend's face as a mask.
So that explains why his face is all messed up. Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, rewatch
catch that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to rewatch that part. Yeah.
No, I thought it was him.
You see it for like a minute straight.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm thinking because he went to have sex with that chick. That's why you see the way he looks.
I think he's actually. I'll be honest. I think whoever that is standing there is naked.
He's naked. His dick's out.
No, he had.
He's hanging dong, bro.
It's definitely dong.
No, Christian was hanging dong.
No. Whoever's standing in the dock is
yeah, dog. He's hanging dong. Because my mom, when it happened, she's like, "Oh God," because she did that.
That's
I promise you.
dude. That's definitely dude standing with his dick out.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
And wearing Mark's face. But I think that's why they did it. I think they did it so you could think like, oh, he
Wow.
just was like banging in the woods,
Okay.
and then he's gonna show up in his room. I think that was designed to make you think. I think it was designed.
Oh, I knew he was in trouble when he go in the woods. I knew because that whole
Yeah.
thing with like that whole thing.
Well,
with,
that was
like,
right after the
dude
pissing
that
on the ashes thing.
right,
Yeah.
and the dude got pissed. That
Oh,
dude
and
that was
I have
pissed
to
out
piss
for
on a
pissing
tree. Be right back.
Your brother's not coming back.
He enjoys this movie so much. So
That whole scene with like another like that whole dinner scene was I think that happened the same time Christian had the hair in his food was when like the dude that was mad at Mark for pissing on the ancestral tree was eyeballing him like he was just eye fucking him the entire time and I was
Mark
like, oh
the
my
first
god,
one to
this
get
is so uncomfortable. Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
first one. Yeah.
that was essentially. But like, what's weird is also in this little cult thing. I get it. If some people are distracted, but like, Mark disappears with that girl. Nobody questions it. We like they never go. Oh wow, we haven't seen Mark in a while. He just is banging this chick in the middle of the woods. Like, I
They
thought
did
that was
mention him.
odd.
They mentioned. I remember them mentioning him after with Hex Mark, but it was like it was very brief.
But like with how little, I mean, you're in a fucking place that you don't know in the middle, literally in the middle of the woods.
Man, I'm telling you, cult shrooms.
Ah, bro.
I'm telling you. And they're all distracted. You got Josh and Christian having this beef over the.
Nice.
Wow, bringing it back.
Nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't actually my face. I
like to grab my mask, but I might have spiders in it. So
I should have hanged dong though. I didn't.
Now,
hang dong.
One thing is you might be on not necessarily because of the mushrooms, but you might be on something that they might have been feeding them something. We don't know if they were poisoning.
Probably. I mean, I'm making a joke, but at the same time.
No, but that's something that I thought about. That 100% because you don't know. That's the thing. We have no idea. We don't really know.
They were.
I mean, obviously the whole thing was in motion. The whole thing.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, yeah, you have to think too. The Pele, is that his name? Pele. He definitely knows those guys pretty well. So my thought was he's feeding the cult information about like the negative things.
Oh no, 100% because he's lying to them the whole time. Like when they both come up, when fucking when Christian confronts fucking Josh about wanting to do the thesis, which was shitty because that was Josh's whole thing. He was right. That was just him fucking being a dirtbag. This is when you really find out how much Christian is. And then he goes to try to talk to Pele about it, and he goes, "Well, I mean, Christian already asked me once." But you also catch Pele in a couple lies. There's a couple points where people are like, "But I thought you already, I thought you already talked to the elders." Yeah, But either way, Christian already asked. And he would play things up. So you could catch. There were parts where they caught him lying, but nobody questioned.
Pele kind of act like that mediator, like the nice guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't really. Like Josh was really cool, but Pele you couldn't really figure out him a little bit.
To try to string things along, he knew that it was Danny's birthday, drew her the picture, and he's trying to get in that ass. Good for him. Fucking, she admits
it did look like that.
He makes out with Danny at the end.
Oh, that's what he was doing the whole time. He was definitely trying to get in that ass. He brought the May Queen, dog.
He wants the May Queen. He wants.
Now he's gonna be the fucking new king that throws himself off a bridge, or whatever.
Freaking cults.
So he's going to get in that ass, because his parents died young too, probably at the hands of the cult, which they never really bring up enough, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Because when he's trying to explain to her how they're the same and that his parents both died, I'm pretty sure his parents both died at the hands of the cult.
Well, they died in a fire, I think they said. He said, didn't he?
Ben, what happens at the end of the movie, buddy?
They all have a lovely time, and
are they just roasting marshmallows? The fire with the bear suit and
what?
Human sacrifices.
I gotta rewatch it. Hold on.
I'm just saying.
No, I know.
So did nobody else catch that either? Did nobody else catch that? I'm pretty sure Pele's.
If it's every 90 years, though, that'll be tough.
No, but but who's saying that it's just that? Like there could be other rituals and other things that they do on top of everything else. So it's like, yeah, sure, point. It's 90 years for this, but then it could be.
That's what I'm saying. We don't. That's why I'm kind of sad that they as beautiful as a lot of the setup in this movie is, and if you don't try to dissect it like we're doing, you can go man, they probably could have set a little bit more. They could have gone into the lore more, is what I'm getting at. And I don't know if the director's cut does.
Give me a
prequel
movie. God damn it! I actually,
but
I want one.
I would have liked more lore with this movie. I would have liked more like
Well,
back history or maybe like
it's
something more.
interesting because like this is the May Queen is a real thing. None of this crazy wacky shit, of course. This is more of a darker take on it. Obviously, like, and I know some people will probably take it the wrong way. Like oh man, this gonna be what's like. No, it's not. It's like the real actual pagan ceremony is dancing, drinking, and all the fun stuff you see in this movie is actual real life. This is the darker end where like we can just fictionalize this, where it's like, yeah, this group of people will probably take it to another direction in their own little secluded area and turn it into something much more darker. Because people do that stuff. People in real life do that.
Yeah.
They'll take something and turn it into something completely off the wall. And so that's a good point. Where it's like this may be about the May Queen mythology. What other things they do that are really effed up? Like what is there? What is there like Sam Haines shit like?
Right. Well, right.
Like,
That's the whole thing. This is they're set up to look like really peaceful, almost hippie-esque people, and it turns out that they're actually like because they're all in white all the time, and they're always around flowers, and they're always around bright things, and
I mean, even that shit always
normally
no matter what, no matter how it is, yeah.
well, but I agree. Every movie
You're
that's
right.
about evil, every movie's that's about evil or witches is always dark, and they're always hidden in a cave, or they're hidden underground, or they're hidden under a camp, or they're hitting, or there's red
Nice.
moss everywhere,
Or yeah,
or
or
whatever.
a mall gets built over their grave.
No,
Or
that's
more,
crazy.
right. So,
we have such a
or
theme on this show. We don't even do it on purpose. It's really funny.
or a mall is built around a tree. Like,
Yeah, that too.
that would happen. No, because they wouldn't just take a backhoe
That's
to that
awesome.
tree. Who the fuck would? No, I'm kidding. But so
Well, that brings it to the fact that it's daytime throughout the entire movie because
but
it's only
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
nighttime only 2 hours, I think.
That's what's so
So
beautiful about the fact. Like it's such a role reversal. Typically, like witches or pagan people or this or that or the other thing. Like even if they're set up to be like nice people to lure you in, they're always still a hint of darkness. It's always at night when people die. Everything that happens in this movie is at during the daytime. Like she's got a weird dream sequence where she wakes up at one point and like they're all disappearing and leaving her or something, and like she wakes up
that
the next
was
day, and that was
yeah.
a weird
And
dream
Mark's
sequence.
laughing at her while he's pointing in the back seat.
Yeah, that was a weird one, and then which I thought was setting up some stuff. But I mean, then there's all the imagery and like going back to the painting stuff. Like with the fucking the love potion thing where like you clearly see like a bloody vagina, and then you see like a girl's vagina snipping off some pubic hair, and you
I
see
thought
like
that was a cantaloupe.
whatever that was. Might have been, could have been a watermelon, who knows. But it was a very
Where's
fuzzy
Gallagher?
watermelon.
He's got a hammer.
Well, that one of those guys had a hammer. Maybe one of them was Gallagher.
That's why I said.
Dude, he hits that with the hammer. He hits the old guy so hard, and it just goes. He makes like the squishiest noise. It was so fucking gross.
His one was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And really quick. Speaking of that, why does the old guy jump fucking like he's like doing a pencil drop in a fucking water? Why does he do that? Why doesn't he just fall head
Because guys
first?
are stupid.
No, but
well,
that's stupid.
I mean, I also get it.
Well, he probably wanted.
I feel like he was a little. I feel like he was a little hesitant. I feel like he just watched it like he. I don't care who you are, dude. I don't care how long you were brought up around a pagan cult. You're still not gonna want to just take a swan dive into a fucking rock. Like I don't care. I don't care. Like like you're gonna tell me 99.9 people that have ever thrown themselves out of a high-rise building or off a cliff, like don't go. This is probably a bad idea, and then they
Man,
hit.
this is gonna suck.
Yeah, that's really so. Like as they're fucking sitting there writhing in agony with their bones broken, they're not going. Probably shouldn't have done that. And then like
Can't wait to
come
meet
back
my
from it.
God. Oh, there's a rock, but it hit my face.
Yeah, that sucked. Like because hey, let me tell you something. Like that's not a fucking slow death. Like you don't just die. Like even your senses still feel it for a minute. Like your brain might eventually shut off, but like you still feel it all. So that's not.
This is why I'm still drinking.
Yeah,
it's
like,
only Tuesday.
Right. Would you fucking really want to feel like no? So that's why I'm saying like he watches his wife throw herself off a cliff, who did not look 72. That fucking dude definitely did. But the wife jumps off the cliff first, has zero problem with the swan dive, which leads me to another point. There's a really good lyric in one of my favorite songs ever, and I can't remember word by word right now, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to look it up in a second, and then I'm going to circle back to this. It has something to do with women being the fault of a good man or something. It's an Every Time I Die song, and I can't remember the fucking. It's off of I want to look it up in a second. Not Gutter for now. The next album. We'll figure it out in a second. It's a really, really good lyric. And as soon as I watched that, I went, typical. Motherfucking the woman's just going, come on, motherfucker, die. I'm only kidding, ladies. We're joking. Matt, we already talked to you
Interesting
about
point,
masculine
actually. The
dudes.
guy show went first.
Yes and no.
Yeah, chivalry is dead.
You know
yes and no, but a lot of manipulation
cults
or crazy or
well, you know
cult.
what? I'm glad you said this because this goes with there's a lot of woman empowerment in this movie.
Oh yeah, there's way more chicks
Danny's
in this room.
with Danny's purging her purge ritual. A lot of that like sync. Oh no, here we go. My word's not coming to me. Synchronized.
Synchronize.
Synchronized.
Where she's in pain and all the other women are screaming with her, which is a very well done disturbing scenes. One of the scenes I seen in the previews is why I didn't want to see the movie. Something about the look on her face, like, why am I gonna watch this? Well done scene. The scene when like, yeah, even though Christian's supposed to be like this empowerment man or whatever, that's the whole point of the whole bear is like is the god Tyr and the sacrifice to the wolf and stuff like that. It's supposed to be this empowerment dude, but not really. He's kind of a douchebag. Maybe they thought he had a strong seed, but it's still like more about them in part. It's like that's why like you see all these women around them during his like sex ritual. It's like they still had the power to some degree, but at the same time, there's still an undertone of like male control in there, especially if this is involving the Green Man.
Ready? The lyrics go like this.
The Green Man showed up apparently somewhere in other scenes you don't see him.
I'm going to read this out to you really quick.
Go for it.
The lyrics go a little something like this. Yet it's a woman, not lack of ambition, that keeps good men bedridden. Jesus Christ, I am forever making the same mistakes. I'm going to reread that for the people who didn't catch it.
Read it again. We got this Rhode Island accent thing going on.
So yet it's a woman, not lack of ambition, that keeps good men bedridden. Jesus Christ, I am forever making the same mistakes. You're welcome. That is a little song called "The Sweet Life."
What album was that from again?
New Junk Aesthetic. It was my favorite album up until Low Teens, and now Low Teens.
Okay.
Like Low Teens, probably might be my favorite album of all time. That album's.
I will forever applaud stuff like this from now on.
What do you mean?
Just jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
That's how they do it a lot in that movie.
That's how they kept applauding everything was jazz hands.
Yeah, the creepy cult jazz hands pretty wild.
I loved it. What? That was the best part of the movie. Anytime they would do jazz hands.
All right, so now that we got through a couple things that didn't add up the way we necessarily wanted them to, especially from somebody who liked it, I'm gonna get into some of the stuff I did love about it. I loved all the imagery. I loved the cinematography in this movie. I thought it was second to almost none. Like this movie is fucking breathtaking as far as like visually seeing things. And then everything from the mushroom scene alone was very good, but the whole last act of this movie, after they drink the fucking dandelion tea, is, dude.
Oh, like, the dance of death.
Fuck all that. The crown she wears at the fucking May Queen dinner, and the flower that's right here that's
it keeps
breathing
it keeps breathing and shit.
breathing for her.
It was blood. I thought so. I missed
No,
that.
no, not bleeding.
Not bleeding.
It was breathing.
Oh, breathing.
Yeah.
I said everything was breathing. I
Yeah.
said that. Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently I forgot to watch it for it this time, but there's a scene where it's like sweeping when they're carrying her on the pedestal to like the food.
And that's where the Green Man is, by the way. I gotta watch it again.
There's a face. That's her sister, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
So
apparently,
wow.
She keeps seeing her family. So there's a part where she sees her family in a crowd. I think it's right around the dream sequence where she sees them take off or something. There's a dream sequence where she sees her family in the crowd and she goes, "Mom," or something like that. And then I believe, as far as I understand,
I remember that.
the face in the trees is supposed to be her sister.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna rewatch this because of all that stuff. There's a lot of imagery I want to catch.
Oh, dude, the second time you watch it, the more you can let your brain not think about the story, and the more you can just go, "Oh, like I just want to watch this." It's the same idea as Mandy, in my opinion, where you just get to like take in the surroundings. Mandy's like this; it's the opposite. It's just so fucking dark, but the colors.
I can't wait for us to talk about that someday.
I would fucking love to talk, and that one's gonna be a long one.
And dudes hang dung in that one too.
Lots of dong.
Lots of dong in that movie.
Lots of dong.
Hell
Dong
yeah.
gets
also-
laughed at.
I'm also it's really
Great
yeah,
scene.
which is awesome.
I will laugh at him too. You punk ass bitch.
Cheddar Goblin fucking rules, by the
Dude,
way.
Cheddar
But
Goblin's the
it's really weird.
best.
It's so fucking
I
dope.
love Cheddar Goblin.
Yeah, so I mean, but like, yeah, with that scene where she's sitting there at the head of the table, if you're watching everything around her, it's swirling around her, but
Mhm.
she's totally in focus. And then the flower crown, this I think it's pink flower right here, is breathing.
Yeah.
The iris in the middle is breathing for her. So when she takes a breath, like whenever she starts like getting into her weird thing,
It plays
it's
so
breathing for her.
well with her the character's anxiety and depression
Also,
and like
as
you
she's
know,
walking through the
called the
crowd,
breathing process.
did you notice that people's eyes were getting bigger and smaller while
Yeah,
she's walking
yeah.
through the
It was a lot of weird shit in that scene. There's a lot of weird stuff.
It's amazing. Now, what did you all think about the odd sex scene? Let's talk about that for a minute. We have to. We have to talk about the fact that there was an old woman pushing a
Oh
young
my
man's ass
god.
in and out
Yep.
of a young lady. We like
Well,
how
because
fucking awkward.
Because it wasn't even
Is-
about like they were like get done and impregnate her so we could kill you. That's what it was. Like they
Yeah.
it's all it was a fertility ritual, you know?
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with like
And then as soon
yeah,
as
maybe
she's,
there was
as
some
soon,
sensual they enjoyed a
as soon
sensual
as he
thing, but
fucking
it was
busts
just
that
so
nut,
weird.
she puts herself in like the fetal position and just starts rolling around and going, I can feel the baby. I can feel it. And you're like, what the fuck is
And it's
going
like, what
on
just
right now?
happened?
It's so crazy.
Yep.
It's so fucking crazy. But yeah, that whole and they're like moaning with her and for
Nope.
her and like
And that was
showing you how
another
fucking
Synchronized.
synchronized.
Thank you thing. I had to like get the breakdown in the dictionary or something like that. I can't get the word in my head.
In tune.
In
with each
tune.
other. Yeah, there
They're
you
all
go.
in tune with each other. Thank you very much. Helping my you guys always be my speech therapist in the show. I appreciate
Sure.
it. In tune.
I stutter a lot too, buddy. Don't feel bad. It's all of us.
It's you know, like the in tune moaning, in tune screaming. It was just like it was so much like what? Wow. It was just it
Well, it's almost like it's like almost like a single organ.
again,
Like
I was tense
so in
throughout the
tune.
entire movie the entire time.
Well, it's because they're
So,
one big family. That's so they were all doing everything together.
Well, I mean, you do have the one because they'll talk about like
Fuck, man! At the end, when the dude starts screaming about burning alive, and they all start like dancing around like they're burning alive too. Like that's wild shit, dude.
Yeah,
It's
even
wild.
Danny's freaking out. She's freaking out in her flower suit. But what about the incest character?
So
I don't remember the
fucking
character.
Louis thing?
Wow!
I might be.
Wow!
I might be.
Oh my
Last time I checked, dickhole.
They kind of look the same.
We both,
I think
we
I think Ben just
we
broke
both,
me.
we both came out of the same dick and
Can't
vagina,
prove it.
so that would mean
Can't-
you're incest
Oh,
too.
You weren't there. You can't
man.
prove it.
Oh my god!
You weren't pushing
I've
his
seen it.
butt.
Oh my god!
I've seen the tape, motherfucker. I'm looking.
Yeah. Who pushed on your dad's butt? Wow.
Satan.
Yeah.
So
With Satan spawn.
nice.
Maximum Carnage, the Devil's Game.
Oh my god! I almost died. No, I did die. So when they were talking about stars aligning and they were matching people based on like, oh, you know, the runes and the stars and this and that, and it's like, but then you know one person was created out of incest, and you're just like, what the fuck? So the stars align between brother and sister, like that's weird. But I guess again, it's all about procreation and keeping everything going. But
Oh, you're
just like,
talking about when one of them asks about incest. I think it's Christian that asks about incest, right?
right,
Yeah.
and you got the one character who stays in that temple all the time. I wish there was more about that person, but I guess they didn't want to do too much. I think it's enough for it. I don't know. I thought there would be more to it.
Again, apparently, I think what this is. I think what we're all getting at is even Ben, who doesn't like this movie. I feel like we're all interested to see what happens with the director's cut because there's stuff missing. There has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be stuff that we're missing. Because
I thought here's the thing. I thought to myself, this movie wasn't as shocking as I thought it would be, even though it still messed with me. I expected
shit
worse than
that's
this.
cut out. Like I don't know what's in the director's cut. I have no idea. But like,
is this gonna be our
why
first
didn't we-
YouTube like revisit for 10 minutes?
I mean, man, it might be a quick one because I don't know what we're missing. I know that the only thing I watched an interview with Ari Aster today talking about it. He went to like a screening of the director's cut or whatever, and like they were doing like a sit down Q&A with him, and he talks about some lake scene, and apparently there's some like they go to a lake at some point in this, and apparently it's like Danny and Christian.
There goes Ben. There goes Ben.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, but apparently there's some lake scene or something, and that's like a pivotal thing that Ari Aster said that
Holy
like
shit.
that was the one moment that he was really how much longer is it, like 3 hours? It must be because this
I
is
was
a
gonna
4
ask,
hour.
it's an
is it 3
extra
hours to uncut?
it's an extra half hour of footage. So
Oh
it
fuck you!
brings it to about a 3 hour long movie. And
So there's 30
See,
more minutes of messed
I
up
don't
shit.
I don't have a problem watching 3 hour movies. I can do that.
No,
I mean I watch Braveheart all the time,
that's
but
what I'm talking about. It's like
yeah,
this movie alone is already just some disturbing stuff,
Yeah.
and you
right.
add
There
this
was
30 more minutes to
there
this.
was
Yep.
right that were cut out just so we
Now you
could
want
get
to
a
hear something
theatrical
crazy?
release.
I will fucking gladly sit and watch that too. I would actually really like to see that to
I
see.
feel fuck it. Let's get into that. I feel like Ben is in denial about this movie. I feel
No.
like you don't like certain characters, and I feel like that's what it is. But I feel like there's
Oh, we just said the triggering thing earlier in the beginning of the show.
yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like
Nope.
you enjoy artistic movies more than like what you're letting off, and
I never
that or I don't
denied
make
that.
it.
Because I love
We got a
Strange by
friend
the
of
Lake.
ours.
I
We got a
fucking
friend
adore
of
the
ours
movie.
who does not like characters like that too. He would. I don't want to say his name yet because I don't want to throw him into too much. But he has a certain issue with certain characters
So
too. He just can't like it
it's
because
not just that. Like I genuinely like I will repeat. I think the ending of this movie is trash. I think it's loud. It's stupid. It's just too much going on. And I
Yeah, I
get
love
it.
it, but I look at the end of this movie like a comedy almost. It just it's so fucking ridiculous that you can't
see, I
help but laugh
see the
at it.
comedy, but I'm already all jacked up and
I
mentally messed up from it. I'm
yeah,
like,
I was
whoa.
following along with the end of this movie to me just feels like like
Yeah.
I laughed. I was like, wait, the motherfucker's in a bear suit. He's about to burn alive. Like
It is messed up and funny to
it's
some
fucking
degree.
hilarious.
But
It's not. It's because it's so ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous. You feel bad. I also think I found a little bit of a comedic aspect of it. I feel like that's almost why the people like the Scarecrow people are so poorly done. I feel like by that point it was just like I just put something in to represent the fucking people that we just killed. Because that was the biggest letdown for me because it was hard to decipher who the fuck was who. And like some of the people from the cult, like they were because it's 4 and 4, and then the May Queen gets to pick the ninth one. So, which we already broke that down. So Danny picks the ninth one, but like she never picks shit. She's like in shock and
no, they
fucking
want him. They
stoned to the
picked him
gills.
for her. You know they picked him for her.
I know that, but like because she never turns away from him and stares
Mm.
at him. She picked him. Understand what I'm saying? So like in
Yeah,
other
it
words,
was
because
the ultimate breakup. Yeah.
right. So that's why they did that. But like, which I
Man,
get.
her
I get.
relationship just went up in flames.
Oof, wow. But man, they were so hot when they started.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, you would say that their relationship was on fire.
Oh, fire.
Ow. No, so I mean, all right. Put it this way: what are we, about an hour and a half in this one?
Go to hell in a
that?
handbasket.
Hour and a half. Yeah. Hour 33.
All right, hour and 33. Let's get some final synopsis into this. And I'm not saying we have to do our final thoughts right away, but I mean, let's get some final fucking pros, cons, and then we'll do our final cuts, and then we'll get out of this because this is one that we really could sit and do. Like
I would love,
fucking,
honestly, I would love to revisit this, the director's cut version. Do another show maybe months from now.
I'd be down for that. Maybe like midwinter. Wintergarten. We'll check it out.
I don't know. I thought it was funny. It was so stupid. It was funny.
Only if we get to talk
You're
about
welcome.
Santa's sleigh featuring Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus.
We should do that.
I'm down.
I'm down for that.
Well, Wintergarten is actually a band, but I just thought it was funny. Shout out to those guys. There's a dude on YouTube that have you ever seen the Marble Machine?
Mm-mm.
If you haven't, I'm going to share it with you guys.
Iron Man?
I was obsessed. No, the Marble Machine.
No, I know.
Not marble like little marbles. And this man created a. I'm not going to do that. I'll send it to you guys.
Oh, you love that thing.
I was obsessed.
You love that thing.
Obsessed for almost a year straight. Joe, I'm not kidding you. I watched this video at least once a day for almost a year straight. Just one video because it put me in like a weird happy place. Like I'm fucked up, guys. Like I make it. I know I make it look good, but I'm telling you, your boy's little out there. But I really like the Marble Machine was in Wintergarten. I loved this. Like I was obsessed with this one video for almost a straight year of my life. And then he made a second. He started to make a second one. Did a whole like day by day or week by week series on how he was making the new Marvel Machine. and I just I lost them at that point. I couldn't keep focus because I don't know where it is now, but it's fucking amazing. It's amazing what the human brain can come up with. Is all I'm getting at. But and they're European too. They're like Icelandic or Finnish or Swedish or something. So it actually does fit into this. But Wintergarden or Wintergarden.
I believe you. I believe you.
They got a motherfucker that plays a typewriter solo. A typewriter solo.
Man, I've been doing a typewriter solo for a long time.
Joe, I'm going to turn you on to Wintergarden, and you're going to go, oh, I get why he'd like this. He takes a lot of mushrooms.
Oh, real quick, I have read people on Reddit say they taking mushrooms while watching this movie. I'm like, Jesus, it's like I know somebody who took LSD watching Faces of Death. Why?
That's Inception.
Yeah,
dude.
see, I thought about that. That is exactly what it is. It's Inception. Like I did think about that as I was watching it. I'm like, man, I've watched mushrooms while watching trippy things before, and I don't like it. It's just irritating to me. Like I would rather just. I don't want to be inside when I do those. Like I want to be outside. I want to be around nature. I want to be around the earth. I want to watch the stars. I hate hippies, dude, but like I become the biggest fucking hippie when I take mushrooms. Like when I go deep, anyways. Like when I go fucking deep,
the
your boy like I got
hippie.
Bro, it's the weirdest thing. It doesn't even make sense. I hate being a hypocrite, but I'm a fucking hypocrite.
That's an old '90s metal, man. That's what it is. It's just embedded. It's embedded. I get it.
That's part of it, but you know, I have deep rooted issues with hippies.
Okay, well, we don't need to get too deep in that one.
No, I have deep rooted issues.
Deep rooted.
We talk about movies like this. So, all right, let's get into a couple things here. I'm going to turn the table over to Ben for a minute because I'm interested to see what we already know his cons. I want to find out. Don't give your final synopsis of the movie and your score yet, but I want to know do you have any pros of this movie? Anything we've talked about so far? Do you have any pros? Be honest about it.
Yeah, of course I do. Like you said, you beat me to it.
Oh, sorry. One follow-up question to that.
Mm-hmm.
Did watching the movie the second time increase it or decrease your thought about the movie?
It stayed exactly the same. Like okay. I still was like I always tell people I think I'm pretty good about going into things with open mind no matter what happens. So I unfortunately even did that with 13 Ghosts, but I watched this movie
every time.
I watched that movie and you know, I'm sitting there, man, like I was like, wow, that the first like 20 minutes really fucking good. Like it's like up until the airplane.
Of this movie.
Yeah, of Midsommar. Okay. Oh, I will give no props to 13 Ghosts. That movie's fucking trash. So they will walk up like right up until they get on that transition with the airplane. I loved every part of like that and like the creepy. That I feel like is like that's A24 right there, man. Like you have that creepy shit of like I don't know what's really going on. Here's this, here's that, and then here's the reveal of fucking parents are dead. The sister fucking taped the tube up to her mouth and like her one eye is all glossed over and like it goes back to the email, which again, why do you email? That's fucking weird. It's 2019 at the time. Whatever.
See, I thought it was Facebook Messenger.
Nope, it was
I didn't see that as email. Maybe it was. I thought it was Facebook Messenger.
Nope, because I was like, this is really fucking stupid. I almost wrote down notes for this movie. But I was like, nah, not this time. I just like doing it this way. And then you know you have Danny honk like a goose every time she cries, which is fucking weird. And it's like
that's just mean, man. That's not cool.
I don't give a shit. If that's her faking ass crying, then she sounds like she should fake cry better, not honk like a goddamn goose.
Wow, Joe, I forgot while we're talking about relationships, I forgot all about the goose. Holy shit!
Oh Christ Almighty! No, that's another podcast.
No, it is, but that just reminded me of that, and that just made me laugh and go,
Jesus.
Yeah, we really all have had bad relationships, huh?
Not my best part of my early 20s.
Forgot all about that. We've all had a lot of that, buddy. Don't fucking take that in.
I'm gonna take it hard, man. I don't change anything about my life. I am who I,
Last time I checked, you know, at least me and you we're doing pretty good. So it seems like anyways.
All good.
Seems like we're doing all right.
We learned. Pretty good. We learned. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. No, Ben, you're young. Joe, realistically, when did you and Colleen get together? You got
2006.
Late? Yeah, but how old were you? What was getting at?
24.
All right, so there you go.
I'm gonna be 40 in October, by the way.
There you go, motherfucker.
Check that out. So yeah, if I haven't learned anything by now,
but you figure it out later on. You start figuring things out later on in life. You know, it's all I'm getting.
You know how I was in those days, man.
Yeah, I get that, man.
Stupid
Like,
bastard.
Look at me. Look at me. Me and K Dog fucking had a 10-year hiatus, and it was not planned out. And right around 27, 28, she decided to steal my heart again, and now she's still here. That Ice Queen. Oh, she's great.
Look at poor Scrooge. Poor Scrooge.
And I'm like,
he's in the middle.
No, but what I'm getting at is
we just go all sentimental.
No, but what I'm getting at is that my point of that is like, dude, you gotta go through a couple bad ones, man, before you're ever gonna find even.
You can't become a good person without learning shit.
All I said was that she honks like a goose when she cries, and I was like, oh, that's a little dumb.
But it made me think of an inside joke with me and Joe, a really old inside joke.
If we're talking about stuff like that, no, that's not the reason why. I think of movies like I like to be entertained, and I like to be entertained in some facet. I just
Are you not entertained?
No, I wasn't. That's The Gladiator.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
it was. But another movie did perform that or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
And if you're gonna try to do something, some fucking thought-provoking shit.
Cheers, Joe.
And if you're gonna do some thought-provoking shit, why don't you do stuff? No, because realistically, Midsommar tried doing that too, and I just wasn't a fan. Nah, it's just too much is going on. It got so fucking wacky, and like I feel like they just turned it into a Looney Tunes cartoon at the end. It just wasn't for me. If I wanted to watch a Looney Tunes cartoon in like a live action form, I would have just went into that. I feel like if this movie was trying to be this big thought-provoking piece, why did we have people screaming in each other's faces for fucking 15 minutes? It was annoying. That's all it was. It was frustrating. It was stupid.
There's reasons. No, there's reasons why. I got why, but
purge ritual, man.
I don't give a
they
shit. They
screamed with her to get rid of her pain.
I don't care.
Stop being so goddamn triggered.
No, it's not triggered. It's just bad. It's stupid. I shouldn't have to go ahead and think about why they fucking screamed at each other's faces. I shouldn't have to do that. I didn't have to think. I have
a question for you.
Go ahead. I didn't have to think about why the lady joked about fucking Freddy Krueger's butter knives in Freddy vs. Jason. God damn it! I didn't have to think about that. The butter knives. She's like, oh, what you got with those butter knives?
Oh, that was funny.
I didn't have Kelly Rowland.
Yes, thank you.
She's the best. She's the best. She's the number one fucking part of Destiny's Child. Fuck Beyonce.
Yes.
Beyonce who?
See?
Who's that other chick? Who gives a shit? Kelly Rowland, man.
See, there we go. What's with the butter knives? Christmas sweater.
She was awesome. She was awesome in that movie.
I didn't have to think about that. I had to at least mention it once. Sorry.
Real quick, I don't want to go too far. I know we're coming too close to the end and everything, but like, Ben, have you ever had? It's funny the way you think. I know we went this whole thing about you not liking 90s movies and 90s this and that, but then we found out you do actually like 90 movies. The way you think, the way you go at it, you sound like an old you sound like an old school horror fan. Like you don't care about this thought provocative
No, I want to see blood and guts, goddammit.
My guys, make me feel like a kid again.
I want to see fucking gore, and I want to see bodies pile up.
Do you have any movies that have some form of like? You like Hereditary? That's thought provocative. That's not typical blood and guts.
Yes, I like thought provoking movies, but that if that's the case, I want to see it. I hate.
Wait, but hold on. What's
it's okay. Midsommar didn't hit you.
No, there's too much symbolism in this movie. It's stupid.
All right, but what? All right, so this compared to the Lighthouse. Right. This compared to the Lighthouse, which one's better?
Oh, Lighthouse. Not even a fucking guess.
Go Lighthouse.
Lighthouse is fantastic in every single way.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Now this compared to The Witch, a lot of people would compare the two.
Now, I'm being biased when I say that. Lighthouse hits me on a Lovecraftian level with Lighthouse, and I would love for us to talk about that at some point.
Are you
I talk about very little on another show.
Oh, The Lighthouse?
I want for us to go. I want a whole breakdown of the whole movie. We got to talk about that at some point.
Oh no! I would love. I fucking love that movie.
Because they touch a little bit.
I've already watched that shit like 4 times. I would gladly watch it.
I've watched it quite a few times.
Even though that hits me on a note.
I would watch that many times.
With me on with I was trying to compare and contrast because Lighthouse and Midsommar can very be similar, but Midsommar is a little more serious, I think, than Lighthouse. I could watch Lighthouse more times than Midsommar, but Midsommar hit me on the personal level where I felt for her and what she went through. So like, there's a lot of pain in this movie, a lot.
I think that's what I was getting at with the early psychology of like the way me and Ben think about things in general. That was just me using it in an adaptation of like real life scenario. Like I have this is me, and then I have my actual brother on the show, who I think and when you're watching is right here, right? Yeah. So me and Ben, you know, we're a great example of that. Like we're actual like blood brothers, 100%. Same dad, same mom. Like we came out of the same dick and vagina, right? So like that's reality.
Some old lady pushing your butt, your dad's butt.
It might have happened. Carol might have given a couple shoves to Fat Boy. You never knew what happens. So inside family jokes. I'm going to cut that out and give that to my whole family. Fat Boy. All right. So Joe, I'll fill you in on that another time. So anyway, so long story short, like I was trying to utilize that opportunity to try to say, hey, like this is maybe where, you know, maybe me and Ben see differently about movies like this, because I think it's great that Ben hates this movie. I really I really do. I love the fact that
but it's good to, you know, you don't
I
have to like
love
everything.
the fact that Ben fucking hates this movie. I love the fact that I'm a supporter of this movie. You know, like I love I like the fact that there's a difference, and that goes to show that like you don't have to fucking like everything that your fucking pupils like or your friends or family. Like you could have different opinions about things and still get along. Like me and Ben couldn't see any more different about this movie. And not once did I rant to him about how he's done. Like now the '94 rant or whatever, that was different, but that was necessary and it was funny. This I didn't want to do that because this is a little more psychological. This movie, so this is a little more intense. The theme wise, you know. But I'm not gonna like. Sometimes I'm gonna put up a show. Like I don't really care whether Ben fucking hates the '90s. Like I don't give a shit. But it's fun for the show. So if you catch that part of it and you laugh, awesome. So this is more of like
a lot of ball busts in the last 3 episodes. A lot.
Yeah, so that's why they were a little more fun, a little more free. And this one,
I feel like
I
we're
left
also
it a
just
little
getting
more
more comfortable too, doing stuff like this. Also,
well, that's part of it. We also haven't done a serious thing in a while. It's been a couple weeks because even realistically, even as much as I love, and I think we all actually love Stranger by the Lake. That's not a real serious movie. Like it is. There's serious themes in the movie, but it's not a serious movie. Like it is, but it's not. Like you can kind of just talk about it and still crack jokes. And this movie's themes are actually pretty serious, even though I already said early on, I kind of look at it, and Ari Aster even said that himself, like, it's kind of a dark comedy when you really break it down. The more you watch it, the more you go, I see how this was supposed to be funny. Like, you have the stoner kid or whatever, you have this and that, and the end scene was kind of funny where the dude is in a bear suit. And
tropes, but...
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it mixes extreme emotional distress with one character with, like, some really dark, like underhanded comedy. Like you just don't see it coming, and that's why like not everybody's gonna find certain things in the movie funny. But there is a lot of like comedy and humor in this movie, so you know I get it, and I respect the fact that Ben is I respect the fact that Ben watched this for the sake of the show, knowing that he didn't like it, trying to give it an open chance. I respect the fact that he's honest about the fact that he still doesn't like it, because a lot of people would go, oh, come on, dude. I mean, it's not, you don't have anything about the movie. Like, I mean, I get it. It's a polarizing movie. You're on the side of it that goes, man, I don't fucking see it. I don't get it. And I respect that. That's awesome. That's awesome to feel good.
Unless the movie starts with 13 and ends with ghosts, at least I'll give props to movies where they.
I honestly, I'm starting to love.
Didn't you give that a 7? Or did you give it a 6.5? What'd you give 13 Ghosts?
It was, well, you had to think too, because we rated it based on 13, so it was 1 through 13, and I gave it like a 3 or a 4 or something. So it was in reality probably like a 2.
Not give it a 3 or 4.
Yes, I did.
Well,
we're gonna have to go back and look.
Well, good thing it's recorded. We have the evidence.
Nope, can't prove it. Doctor, you changed it. You photoshopped my voice.
Ben's gonna go back and fucking cut that part out.
And then it's just me now.
One part of that episode that didn't transfer.
Oh shit! It got copyright claimed again. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, we know a lot of those type of conspiracy theories.
Matthew Lillard caught on to Ben fucking trash him and decided to cut the movie out. Hey,
Zoink Scrooge.
Who'd you fucking confuse him as?
Fred Willard.
Not Fred Willard. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it's almost the same thing.
Yeah. So no,
Anyways, all right.
I will sit here and I will give.
What are you fucking Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
no, I was a seagull from Finding Nemo. Mine.
No,
Mine,
that's
mine,
mine.
mine, mine.
Yeah.
I remember.
Thank
Last
you.
time I
I just
checked-
said that.
Right, but Ozzy makes more sense. Crazy Train?
We're all on a crazy train.
I hate
We
you
all
so
are
much.
on the
Look.
Crazy Train.
No, I was still sitting here and giving props to fucking Ari Aster because I really like what he did with certain parts of the movie. It's just, as a whole, I just, decided that it's just, ultimately, it didn't pan out to what I wanted it to be.
So for you, before we give scores, you're 1-1 so far with Ari Aster. One movie you love, because I'm pretty sure I've heard you say that you love.
I love
no?
Hereditary. I fucking
Okay.
adore the movie.
So I think we're all on the same page.
Give me
on that one.
Disappointment
I
Boulevard,
adore that movie.
baby.
Well, that's what it's gonna bring up. Him and fucking Joaquin Phoenix. That's gonna
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pumped.
Who fucking knows what we're getting with that one? That and Roger Eggers' new movie, The Northman, is gonna be.
And don't forget, A24's crazy ass lamb people or lamb baby mythology movie. I
wanna see
shared
the
that
Green
trailer
Knight.
with
Green
you. That
Knight.
looks nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the Green Knight.
I'm
Some
when does
weird
that come
stuff.
that
Joe,
comes out.
give us a quick rundown before we do final scores. Give us a quick rundown now, because you've never seen this movie.
Oh, that's out
before.
already.
What is your? Try to give us your brief synopsis of what you thought of, good and bad about the movie. What your thought was. Then we'll do our final scores. Let's
So
wrap this
good.
up.
It held my attention through the entire thing. It did not feel like
Good.
2.5 hours. Despite the acting is all very well done and well done enough where that's why I have my
I agree.
problems with some characters. When you can hate a character or 3 or 4 of them, because there's quite a few of them and their personalities, because I just can't stand guys like that. This is why I am the way I am. They're good actors, but they're so good actors, you can still laugh at them when they do stupid shit. Like the comedy still kicks in where he's like, wow, I don't like this dude, but holy shit, that was funny. So that's well done. The setup was well done. Now I'm not gonna say my rating yet. I will say this: it had me at a 10, right up to the sacrifice part. Like the setup had me, and all the way through, and then
Which sacrifice part?
oh, I'm sorry, my bad. The first one, the old people jump
okay.
off, because it just I was
Okay.
like, holy crap, we're only 40, because you're only about 40 minutes, maybe not even an hour in, and you're
just over an hour at that point.
is it over hours? That's what I mean.
Yeah,
You don't know
sure.
you don't know the
it's
time
just
of this
about an
movie,
hour.
and that's why. So that's why I was like, wow,
Dude,
this is cool.
it's 50-something minutes
Really
when they get to the
sucks you
mushroom
in.
part. Like it's
Yeah, because
like
the intro
that
was
deep.
very long. The intro was very long. It was in yeah. So okay.
Just the whole opening, like murder suicide scene, is like almost 20 minutes.
Yeah, you get a lot of
Like-
exposition all the way up at
Yeah.
for the first part.
So I'm not saying it died down for me, but what I love about this movie, it's very when you have artistic movies like this, and that goes with like Lighthouse, Hereditary, The Witch wasn't too. Some of these movies break the rules.
No,
a little
I
bit.
would put that
you
in
know
because
what I'm saying?
the
They
number
break-
one criticism
they
about The
break-
Witch is that it's long and that everybody gets
No, I'm
bored
not
of The
talking
Witch.
about long.
I don't
I'm
fucking
talking-
understand how people get bored of that movie, but that's me.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about how long it is. I'm talking about like when the way it just crescendos into like that scene, and almost makes you feel like things are gonna get worse from there right away, and it doesn't. It's just it drops down right away. It goes it kind of resets the pace, but it
Yeah.
still holds you. You know, and it was really weird for me at first. So it went from a 10 and it dropped my rating down only because like it had me up. But I'm like, holy crap, nothing's happening. But that's a lie because that's the illusion. There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
It depends on who you are as a audience and a consumer of whatever you watch. It depends on how it hits you.
Yeah.
The tension, the main thing that I love about this is even though I had that drop that kind of killed me a little bit,
Kind of like how it killed those
I
old
was-
people.
I was still yeah, I dropped with them.
Somebody, if
I
we
still
had an
held- the
editor,
tension still
if
had-
we
the
had an
tension still
editor
held.
right there, we would have done the Beastie Boys.
Yes, that's
that
my
song.
yeah. But it didn't kill it for me.
Nobody
It
knows
just,
what
it
I'm
just,
talking about.
it just,
You
it's still.
fucking assholes don't know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course I remember the Beastie Boys. See, I don't remember the song,
You
but it's
know.
from like Communication or on that album, whatever.
Intergalactic Planetary.
Oh, it was Intergalactic. Holy shit, it was. Wow. That same album, he was like, 50 cups of coffee and
then all of a
something.
sudden, fucking the
Wow,
828,
I rapped a little bit.
828
You
happens.
never thought I would do something like that. That's funny. We used to rock the Beastie Boys so much as younger. So yeah, I even though I had no problem with the rest of it, it still got me because there's a lot of weird shit. I think it felt almost predictable at some point for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because of the foreshadowing. Again, it didn't ruin it for me. The ending, I love the ending. I agree that something didn't add up the way they did it, and they didn't like really think about like, okay, well, if we're gonna put the two old people part of the sacrifice, how did you sew their face up like that? I mean, and here's the thing, here's the thing, I suspend disbelief. If you look at like mortuary or mortician, they do some crazy work. They do some crazy work with some serious damage. So maybe they're able to do that because this is something they've done traditionally for their entire lives. So you could find it in between, but I still agree with you. It is a little weird. It's
well,
like,
I mean, they kind of give you a hint of that with when they're cutting up the bear at the very end. They give you that nice little scene where the guy's teaching the kid how to cut the bear open.
The fact that with the bear, with the cow walking around, there was a lot of weird foreshadowing that these things you see in background end up showing up later on in the film.
No, I'm talking about when they cut the stomach out of the bear to put Christian in it. There's a scene that's very detailed.
I remember,
and it's very unnecessary. Where it's an old dude like teaching kids how to like.
You thought? Like, see, I didn't think it was unnecessary. I know why. I got why I did it. I was like, holy shit!
It wasn't. No, it was necessary for somebody who's looking at this movie like, oh, that makes sense, because then when you go back and go, oh, how did they skin somebody's face up? But like now, use that, and think about the scene we were talking about where Josh got hit in the head with a mallet because he thought he saw his friend Mark. Well, the guy that was Mark wasn't Mark. It was somebody wearing Mark's face.
Yeah.
So then when you think about, well, how'd they do that? Then you go, oh, there's a fucking guy here who's essentially a surgeon and can.
Good connections. I didn't really. That's good connection.
Well, because you've only seen the movie once. When you watch this movie more than once, you start going, okay. They answer every fucking question. Essentially, you just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You really have to look for them, and that's it. This is it seems like there's a lot of like, here's a painting of the whole movie. If you just saw this, you would have caught on that that's the whole movie. But then when you go, oh fuck, when Christian was sitting in front of the old lady and she tells him that he was chosen to impregnate somebody there, and he thinks he's being interrogated about his friend interrogating the people, and he sat in front of a bunch of pictures and he's staring at pictures. He's actually looking at somebody thrown up in a bear suit. So he's looking at his own demise.
Foreshadowing again,
right. Like, all the pictures everywhere in this movie are telling you everything that's going to happen in this movie.
Well, and a lot of the runes too, the runes they're wearing. I wrote down.
Yeah.
I didn't even get into that yet, and then we don't need to. But whoever's watching, if you haven't seen this, when you finally watch this, do the research on the runes everybody's wearing. They all foreshadow that person's path. Everything with the runes, and each room and everything. What the frig is the director's name again? I can't.
Ariasta.
Is that Ariasta? I would say a starry. Ariasta really planted everything just right, and that's why I really want to rewatch it, because I want to catch what I missed.
Yeah.
There are theories that the 4 deaths. Josh was Earth. That's why you see his foot sticking out of the dirt. I think the rune on his foot is actually Earth. Mark was fire only because he was stuffed with hay, because fire lights up, which is a little weird because they're all kind of fire to some degree. So that's a tough one. Connie, when you see her in her wheelbarrow, I think she was Earth, fire. She's not air. What's the other one?
Water. Well, no, wind would be
water. I think she's water because she's soaked in wet. She's actually, I'm looking at the picture right now. Her in the wheelbarrow. She's drenched, so she could have been water. So they're planting her or something like that. And then what's his name? Simon was air because of the torture.
Again, I talked about this earlier. In the director's cut, apparently there's some kind of a lake scene. We never see the lake in this movie.
That could be her.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta watch the director's cut.
Well, the wind is clearly the Blood Eagle.
Yes. Yeah, I did say that. Yeah. Now here's my other theory. Right now, the Earth makes sense. I also thought like, with Josh was like, Earth and then knowledge, the seeker of knowledge my mind made that weird connection with Mark. He's got this weird hat on his head. I'm looking at the picture right now. Remember the weird hat? It looks like a jester. It
He's
looked
a
like almost
fool.
a.
Yeah, he's
It
a
looked
fool.
like a fool because he was the real. I mean, Christian was he was a typical guy. You know, that's what made
The
him the asshole.
bro.
Mark, he was the bro. When Mark was like that kind of like real goofy, like he was kind of a jester. Like I'm like, holy shit! So there's a lot of symbolism, and that's why it's great to watch it again because I want to catch all those themes and all those runes
Yeah.
and even the director's cut and see all that. So I really enjoyed that, despite the fact that there was things missing, like you said near the end. I think that's because you guys see the director's cut.
I think so too. From the little bit that I watched with Ari Aster talking about the movie today, I didn't want to go too deep into it because I didn't want to like find out about things I don't know about. I do want to take the time to go watch the director's cut and then like sink my teeth into kind of thing, and then be surprised and go, oh fuck, I didn't realize that this is the difference kind of thing. The little bit that I heard him say, he said that he has a really hard time. He's somebody that loves like long movies, obviously, and he writes. He does. I mean, Hereditary and Innocent are both like long-winded movies, and he loves those kind of things. So it's hard for him to cut anything out because he's all of these are poignant to like the story that he's telling, right? Because he also writes them, so it's interesting. So I think the movie as a whole has its place. I can 100% after this is probably the I think this is the fourth time I've seen it now. I watched
That's
it
incredible.
late. I watched it late at night the other night, and because I wanted to watch it one more time, and I watched it like before bed or whatever, like in my room. And Kristen's like, "Oh wait, you're gonna watch this now?" And I went, "Yeah." And she goes, "I'm out of here." And like she went and watched TV in the in our living room or
My
whatever.
wife did almost
And,
the same thing, and she was actually shocked. I was still up. I stayed up. Usually I pass out by that time. I stayed up and watched it still.
yeah.
It can't be in
I
there.
watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, I had some fucking weird dreams afterwards because it does get in your head. This movie when you watch it more than once, or even the first time it gets in your head. If you're somebody that
I'm
analyzes
surprised
things like that,
I'm surprised I was able to sleep after that. I really was.
because it's not a traumatic movie as far as like gore wise. It's really almost no gore.
And
In the
that's
movie,
where I
there's
was kind of
one scene.
disappointed, but not disappointed. I was actually kind of
I
happy,
I agree with you. That's why I'm saying
but at the same
I'm
time,
kind of
I thought
sad.
it'd be worse.
I'm sad once you see the people throw themselves off the fucking the cliff. You go, oh, now we're gonna get into some shit.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That like
Yeah.
build up. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what that was like.
it 100% honey dicks you into thinking that now we're gonna get a second movie now. Like now we're gonna see some fucking wild shit, and you don't like. And to be honest with you, the more now that I've seen it so many times, or 3 4 times, I think I'm at 4 now. Man, I'll tell you, like the more times you watch it, the more times you go, it actually makes sense. Like if anything, the more
it
you
definitely
watch it,
does.
the more you watch,
No,
the more you're not sad about it. But I still think that there are things you could
it
tell there were
was
things
the way they
missing.
did that was kind of like how I felt about Fear Street '94, the crazy fast pace right into the slow burn slasher of Fear Street
Yeah,
1978. That's what that movie did. The same exact type of like
I talked about that before with that I would my biggest disappointment with that whole series was the fact that it was clearly shotgunned. Like it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been made like that. It didn't deserve that. I thought the story could have been
right.
way longer, like way better told if they'd done it right. It probably really should have just been a series. It really should have been.
I
It
can see
should have
that.
been like
I can see that.
3 seasons. Like 94 should have been a season, and then like or whatever. We've already beaten that horse to fucking death.
Yeah.
But all right, how about this? Let's fucking
Do the ratings.
Probably 2 hours. 2 hours into this one.
What about? I think it's time for ratings and then plugs, but we
Yep.
should definitely do Ben's rating last. Oh, you want me to be last? What do you want?
No, I'll go last. Joe, go first. Ben, go second. I'll go last because we already know that I like the movie, but I don't know. Here's the scoring. The scoring today is gonna go. How about we do 1 out of 10 dickheads in bear suits?
Dickheads in bear suits. All right, man.
I think that's like the best rating system out of everything we've done. And this is what, the 15th episode? And we're not even. Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh my god, you guys broke me twice today. Oh god. All right.
I'm not gonna lie. That even as I'm thinking about it, I'm like I almost said May Queens, and then I thought about the bear suit, and I was like,
Dickheads
no,
and
fuck
bear
that.
suits.
Dickheads and bear suits. Yeah. So 1 out of 10. Now your score doesn't get better because you hate dickheads and bear suits, but
no,
it's 1 out of 10 dickheads and bear suits.
I was really stuck. Like I almost like I said, I was at that 10 moment right there, but obviously that's stupid because I still had an hour and a half left of the movie. I'm just gonna say it was like it. Oh man, it's one of those things. Was like, God damn, this is too long, but it was too great, but wasn't too great. But it's like there's a lot I loved about it. So you know me, when I love something, I love something. So it is a 9 dickheads in bear suits rating.
It might be the best rating
Set
system
them
we've
on
come up
fire.
with.
Set that bear suit
It's the
on
best.
fire.
It's the
Oh
best.
my god, it's so good. So yeah, it's 9 for me.
Ooh, that was quick. You got quick.
It was
to
almost
the point.
8.5. It was almost 8.5. Yeah, well, I you know me, I'm long-winded myself, so.
Me? Am I going?
Yes, Ben. Yes.
That is me.
Yes.
Yes.
The guy down here is going.
That is
next.
me.
Yes.
All right. I mean, it's not a fucking surprise, man, that I just don't like this movie. It's just there's too much, and then
Real quick.
yes.
Can you give us your rating when you first saw it compared to your rating now?
When I first saw it, like I said, I probably would give it like a 4. It's definitely higher now. Not that much. Not by much.
I'll take that as a win.
Yeah, like I sit there. Obviously, you can appreciate a little bit more. I still find most of the shit a little too fucking goofy. And like I was about to say, there's too much in the movie, and I got too little out of it. There was some stuff that I really liked, like the very tense fucking opening with the double murder homicide or suicide. I liked that a lot. I liked the sacrifice part. There was some like really good tense moments of the movie that led up, and you'd think that there would be a little bit more, and instead it just ended up to be a bunch of old fuckheads screaming at each other, and then a dickhead in a bear costume being lit on fire. I just wanted more. I think that's maybe if I watch the director's cut, I'll like it, because I don't shy away from long movies. I'll say it.
No, that I know. That's even more so why I'm still a little surprised you don't like the movie, but
Yep.
I get it.
Like
that's why I'm not
sat
arguing
there
it.
and I thought the Snyder. I watched the whole Snyder cut of Justice League front to back. I didn't take any breaks.
Yeah, but that was a superior movie. That's the way that movie should have been.
And I love that movie.
One.
Like I thought the Snyder cut's amazing. Like
I still think that's now the second best DC movie. Well, no. Well, no. Out of the DC universe,
like Suicide Squad,
like the modern.
Joker.
We're not fucking talking about we're not talking about the Joker, because that was clearly a movie written as something else and then slapped with the Joker title to sell more, which it was. And then we're not talking about Keaton's Batmans. We're talking about the DC universe.
I'd be a little biased
what
there.
started happening, because if we talk about all of Marvel and all of fucking DC, then people seem to mysteriously forget about
Blade
I don't know
2.
a little thing. Thank you.
Spider-Man 2, X-Men 2.
And then people well,
even Blade 1. Come on.
Blade 1's amazing. So or I don't know, the terrible version of the Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, horrible. Or the fucking canned version of the Fantastic Four in the early '90s. That was dog shit.
Yeah, but then we get Thomas Jane's
how they had a
Punisher.
Well, that was great too. But again, Marvel and DC have both done things for. So we're talking about like modern DC universe, which is we're talking all probably like since Iron Man is really whenever they started going.
We're going off.
Forth, right?
We're going off in the weeds.
Yeah,
all right, true.
Truly.
And plus Superman 4 is the best DC movie ever made.
You're going off in the meadows.
True.
Yeah, you're eating too many mushrooms. You're going with Iron Man.
I think you're forgetting about a movie called Batman from 1989 with Michael Keaton.
We did say Keaton earlier.
Yeah. If you're gonna go back and it's fucking far as Superman 4,
come
fuck
back.
yourself,
Come back.
No,
come back.
Superman 4 sucks. That was a joke.
Last time I checked, fucking. I'm not gonna say it.
Superman 4 is bad. That's the joke.
We're back. We talk about
I know that, but I almost just made a really bad joke about Michael Keaton not falling off a horse.
Dickheads in bear suits. 5.5.
5.5.
5.5.
Wow, 1.5 rating
1.5 higher.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cinematography. Just that's borderline perfect.
The movie's fucking beautiful.
It's just
it really is.
Yeah.
The story that they told just
kind of sad I
wasn't for
didn't see it
me.
in the theater.
And the stuff that I saw, it just wasn't for me.
We also didn't even touch on the score, like in the fucking like the sound design in this movie. Jesus Christ,
There's a lot.
What
Well, we visit the director's cut in midwinter.
I will gladly do that, and I'm gonna go pee.
All right, so everybody already knows that I like this movie. I'm not gonna go crazy talking about it. I didn't talk about sound design and score, which the score is
Score's excellent.
very, very good. It's very well.
I'm pretty sure I saved it in my Spotify. I'm pretty sure when I get my score ready
this,
mode.
This dude knows how to fucking make movies. Like this dude fucking knows how to make a movie. It's brilliant. I'm gonna give it 8.5 Dickens and Bear Suits out of 10.
Oh shit! I went higher than you. I'm actually kind of shocked.
Higher than me, only because third or fourth viewing now, I feel like there are things missing because I've had enough time to analyze it all now. So before I watched it 2 days ago, it was like a 9.5. I love this movie. Like I was like I was a flag bearer for this movie. Like, dude, you gotta watch it. I don't know how you don't like it. It's neck and neck with Hereditary, which it's not. It's not. I agree with a lot of people. It's not. But I also don't agree with people where they say that it's terrible or like, it's not. Dude, it's a very good movie and it's beautiful to watch.
Right.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10 Dickens and Bear Suits because it lost a half a point. It was gonna be a 9. I was gonna round it down to a 9. The more I thought about it, and then when I found out,
really funny.
right, then when I thought about it and I realized I felt like there was something missing, even though it's 3.5 hours long, whatever the fuck it is. I kept thinking to myself that there was something missing this time around. Like watching it and analyzing it for a show and watching it as like a viewer, casual viewer, it's not the same thing. So casual ed says 9. It's a 9. It's a 9 out of 10 Dickens and Bear Suits. But movie dissector Ed, this guy Eddie Vegas, it's an 8.5. It loses a half a point because I kept on feeling like there was something missing. I felt like there was I have to be honest about it. Like there were things that were
They got drugs for that.
True.
Called mushrooms. I have some in the other room. Anyways, if that had happened, it probably would have been like a 11.5 out of 10. And then we would have been like, well, Ed, you broke the system, and that's not okay. And I would have been like,
yeah, no, we don't need to. Let's not break anybody. Yeah, maybe the 1 year anniversary will break something. I don't know.
We'll do like favorite movies of the blah 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 decade or something. What the fuck it is? But
actually, so speaking of favorite movies,
okay.
Oh, I was. Oh, you. What are we doing this Friday? What are we doing this Friday?
Well, thank you for the transition, Joe. Anybody that's watching live right now? So here's what we're gonna do. If you guys didn't know, because you didn't know, this Friday is I don't know, a little thing called Friday the 13th, right? We've all been there.
Speaking of like rituals and traditions,
and there's also, I mean, a little
one
kind of very indie movie franchise called Friday the 14th.
I mean, oh,
you might have heard of it. I was gonna go Thursday the 16th, but you know, whatever. Goes your boat, floats your boat. Even though the 12th would be before.
If you floats, because if
it might be you never know. It might float in the river.
Shocking ending in horror movie history.
Are gonna do a special episode. It's gonna be more of a party episode. I'm definitely gonna have a beverage or two. Not like I don't pretty much every week, but I'm gonna have a few beverages before.
This should have been a coffee night for me.
Before no, go for it. Have fun, dude. It's a Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th special.
Tonight, no, Friday the 13th is definitely gonna be.
Oh, yeah. No, you were fine today. You had what, 3 beers while we were doing this? You're fine.
Yeah, fine.
Friday night, I might get out of work about an hour before we're gonna start airing, and I might have something ready for me as soon as I punch out at 8:30. So I'm gonna have probably about a whole hour to prime myself for this night, and I have to work the next day, so I'm very ready for this night because we haven't done a late one too. Special Friday night show. It's we're gonna keep it. I mean, it'll probably be a 3-hour escapade somewhere in there. It's gonna be party night. And we might be open if you're watching this, and from now until then, or live right now. If you're a fan and have been following us along, we might finally open up the gates to having some people jump in with us.
Yeah, Kane Hodder. So if you're listening,
yeah, definitely him for sure, and definitely Corey Feldman, and definitely Crispin Glover, definitely Crispin Glover.
Yep, Robert England. You know which
one
of my favorite characters in the franchise, actually, Crispin Glover.
Yep. You know,
he dances so goofy.
Yep. We have a couple people. What's the girl's name that dances to oh my god, what the fuck is her real name?
Flashdance.
No. She's got the fucking blonde hair with the black streaks, and she does the weird robot dance. The fucking
Oh, you talking about
my
part
God.
5?
Part yeah.
I forgot
Yeah,
her name
well,
too, but that's
yeah.
part
Isn't
5.
she
Yeah.
dancing?
It's like a 80s techno dance or whatever.
Crispin
Spoiler
Glover, dude,
alert.
has the best dance moves in any movie, and it's in Friday the 13th.
I don't
so.
know. I don't know. Ed Harris and fucking what the fuck is that? The anthology movie, Creep Show.
Creep Show. John
Harrison,
Travolta in
Creep
Pulp
Show.
Fiction too. Come on, can't forget about
Ed
it.
Harris and Creep Show might be the best.
Nicolas Cage and Willy Wonka, not Willy Wonka, Willy's, what the fuck that one's called?
Willy's
He does a
Wonderland.
I haven't
crazy,
seen it yet.
he does a crazy
Willy's-
singing scene.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
He wants to play
Is it
pinball.
good? You guys
Yeah,
like it?
I love
You
Willy's
guys both
Wonderland.
watch it?
I would
Ah.
fucking.
We're gonna have to do that one. Maybe that's one of the ones we should probably do like a quick one on. Like
I didn't finish it. That's only one scenes I know.
Like I
think
said,
it's great.
I
so.
keep saying I know the guy who did the special effects for the movie. Like,
oh shit!
I've
it
said that
Okay.
before.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is a Friday the 13th, so we're gonna do our 13 collectively 13 favorite moments or kills from the franchise, meaning from Friday the 13th one all the way to the remake, which is the 12th movie in the span of the history. So there's only 12 movies out of Friday the 13th, which I can't believe there's not.
A couple
15 yet,
awesome
which
fan
we should
movies
have
out there
done that.
too.
I've heard that a few times.
There's
and
some
I know
good
this
ones,
is
but-
One
a
of them
game,
brings back
there's
Tommy,
cool
which
things,
I've been
so-
wanting to see.
So we're gonna say it. We're gonna do our top collective 13.
Right.
And I'm gonna give Joe the special extra pick because Joe knows this franchise better than any of us. So
I've been
me
raised
and
on this
Ben are each
franchise so much.
are each gonna get 4, and I believe that works up to 13. Right? So me and Ben are each gonna get 4, and Joe's gonna get 5.
Yep.
So
I talk about 5 kills.
Joe gets an extra pick because it's his baby with this kind of a thing. So we're gonna all talk about our favorite stuff in. So I'm gonna get 4, but we're gonna go in a circle. So like Joe will start, and then like Ben will go, I'll go, Joe, Ben, me. Like, and we're gonna
It makes it so
figure
much
out
harder
the
to narrow down like my actual 4 favorite.
But no, well, I mean,
I already
have a
have
couple
3,
spare.
dude. I
Have a
already
couple
3.
spare. Have a couple
No,
spare
actually, I already
because
have 4.
we're not going to do doubles. So if somebody else picks one before you, you got to have a
Yeah.
backup. So make sure.
Okay.
So we're only going to talk about
Fair
4
enough. Fair enough.
or 5 for Joe's sake, and we got to have a few. So we don't need to. The reason why is because we also don't want to murder everybody with like long length time.
That's funny. Oh, sorry, that was loud. That's murder everybody. That's pretty good. I like that.
See, Joe, see, it's almost like we've been doing this for a while.
I
So
completely
it's a
zoned
special
out.
episode. It's Friday. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna do our love love letter to Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And have a fun Friday night show, and just hopefully everybody enjoys. We're gonna like hammer it tomorrow. We're all gonna start posting about it tomorrow. We have 3 days, and I know we only have 3 days. We probably should have been harvesting up more than that, but we had to do a show in between them because we've all had a lot going on. So we're doing 2 shows this week. The third Friday 13th episode is going to be this Friday, which is Friday 13th, August 13th, 2021. Come join us if you're watching us live right now. I know we don't have a huge show tonight because we've been kind of like away for a little while, but whoever's watching us, come hang out with us. And then we all should throw this out to our friends, anybody that loves these movies, to watch the stream. And then if we can figure out a way, we got to try to figure out in the next, whatever it is, 3 days after tonight, if we do this through Discord still, which is how we record live, can we bring people in, or is there a better app for that? Like, should we experiment with something new where people can come and go, or no?
In that case, Zoom is probably easier, but we'll talk about that.
Is it though? We'll figure it out. Try to figure it out, Ben. And if you can figure out if there's something that works a little bit better, then maybe we'll do that and see if anybody wants to try it. In general, so I think what we should do, it should almost be like and we'll narrow it down as we go, but maybe it should be like a 2-part show, even though it's one night. Like, we'll bang out our 13 and then like open it up and say, hey, anybody that wants to jump in, like, let's discuss. What'd you think about our 13? Like, whatever, what's a favorite moment for you? And then that's when the guests will come in. So if we try to hold ourselves to like, a time frame on when we go through our 13, I know Ben's laughing already. It's tough, but I think we can do it. I think. If we set an honest time frame and go, guys,
If not, everybody just comment in the Twitch comments. We've had that a few times.
We're not dissecting a specific movie. We're just fucking having
we're
fun
just talking about scenes. Yeah,
just having fun. This is a
we're
fun.
talking about the franchise. Because the franchise is about kill scenes. We love about the franchise.
We are going to talk about our favorite
effects
13 collectively. And is our list the definitive Friday the 13th kill list?
Nah,
It's
to
not.
us maybe.
But to
There's
us it
no
is. But
real
and even,
definitive list.
and even then, I'm interested because I have 2 or 3 that are really poignant in my mind, and then the rest of them are kind
Same
of like,
here.
we'll see what happens.
That'll be very
But
interesting.
it's going to be an interesting show because I'm interested to see how many movies actually get picked.
Mm.
Think about that. Out of the 12, how many movies are we even going to talk about? Like, I can't picture us talking about all 12 of them. There's no way.
No,
But
I mean, maybe
I wonder what.
something will intersect or
But I
whatever.
mean, if we're talking about our favorite 13 kills, right? I know I can think of 4 of my favorite kills in the entire franchise in one movie. Like, so, like, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to try to spread out. But like,
No, mine are pretty
I'm wondering-
diverse though. The ones I think
I'm
of.
wondering which movies are going to get snubbed. Is what I'm wondering. Is what I'm getting. I really am wondering what's going to happen with it.
Man,
Because there are some movies I'm not well versed in.
it
I
would
don't
suck if
know
Jason
all of
Goes
them
to
very
Hell
well.
gets snubbed. That would really suck.
It actually might not. I'll tell you.
Oh, it has some good kills
I'm
in
going to
it
put this
though.
out there. Shit, man, it's going to be hard for me to. I don't know. Number 3 might get a little snub.
We'll get there. Trust me, I know it's gonna be fun.
No spoiler alerts yet, but yeah, join us Friday. We're going to be going live, I believe. We're going to shoot for 9:30.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this live, come hang out with us. We're all going to be posting that
Eastern
from now
Standard
until then.
Time.
So
I have to emphasize
Eastern
that.
Standard Time. Yeah, Eastern Standard
Oh
Time.
yeah, we
Yep,
do have to get better at putting that. I forgot.
So make sure that when we're
Whoops.
posting it, I'm going to include. All right. So hopefully everybody enjoyed our breakdown or discussion or dissection of Midsummer, or Midsommar, however you fucking pronounce that. Don't be a Midsommar. We liked it for the most part. 5.5, 8.5, 9. Go check it out. Go see what you think. Tell us what you think about our discussion about it. This one was a more like open discussion. It wasn't completely like about the movie.
No, it
But
worked
I
out
also didn't want to
great.
give
It was
away
awesome.
anything. So I thought this was perfect personally. But I'm done. Founded by Horror on Instagram, Eddie Vegas on Instagram. You guys do your plugs. We're out of here.
JCW Horror Writer on Twitter, JC Walsh 81 on both Instagram and Slasher, JC Walsh on Facebook. Like the page, personal stuff. I don't know if I would accept friends. Just like the page and interact with me that way. Also on YouTube on Amon Rosamilia's YouTube. We break down 4 movies, most horror, some sci-fi. We just did one on alternate reality, so that's a lot of fun. Check that out too. Very different how we do this breakdown. I always like to clarify that. You'll find me on Amazon. You'll find my books on Amazon. We'll be getting a new release soon, but I'm not gonna say too much. And coming September 25th, I will be joining 11 or 12 other authors for a book signing at Angry Eric's Brewery. It's Beers and Fears 2021, so we'll be doing the signing there. I just want to throw it out there that the flyer's going out, so come check us out. 12 authors altogether. I'm trying to think of anything else because can't remember. I think that's it. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. All right. I'm done.
Me, Screwchamp, Twitch, Screwchamp, Instagram. That's pretty much it because I don't do anything on Twitter except follow video game news and hot porn ladies. So if you like that, then you'll love me on Twitter, I guess, to see me do nothing. Appreciate it.
To see you nut?
Yeah, to see me nut ting.
Sorry, made me laugh.
Was that Slipknot? Ting, you hitting drums?
Yeah. What have I been playing recently? Fucking Pokemon Unite. That's pretty fun on the old Nintendo Switch. Just trying to tell.
Oh, Ben! I ran into Nick Marchand the other day. He said to say hello.
Oh,
him and his buddy were talking about playing that game.
Nice.
And I said something about you, and he said, "Yeah, tell Ben I said hi." So yeah,
nice,
Nick
dude.
Marchand. So shout out to Nick Marchand.
Nice, dude. He's a good wrestler. Fucking great. And
he actually had a great match with him.
Yeah. And then I just got these recently. It's No More Heroes 1 and 2. So I'm gonna crack these bad boys open and stream those for you guys if people like. So, oh, these are magnetized. I didn't even know that. So yeah, just let me know. And thanks for fucking hanging out, dogs. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
No More Heroes, idiot. Be cultured. It's Travis Touchdown. Come on, the third one's coming out soon. God.
No rants, no debate. It's 10:30 in the evening. I think
I'm such an uncultured heathen. I know. I'm sorry. All right, guys. We'll see you on Friday.
All right. Bye, guys. Stay
Stay
bloody.
bloody.